It would be bad friends.
Speaking of which, apparently he is no longer...
Alright. Video is live, and audio is live on this guy. So sorry everybody for the huge fuck-up. We are trying to get a better system in place, and it's just not working. So, because Adobe Flash Encoder is a pile of dicks.
Yay, dicks! No, wait. Get confused.
Why did Will have to be the one who could make
I was asking the same thing. Like, I was a little bummed out. I was like, oh, it's just going to be me and Will.
Alright.
I was super excited.
Okay.
I was like, yay, I get to do something.
Do you want me to set up a audition again? So, we had this whole setup going because we're running 3 mics today.
it?
And
I'm trying to get questions.
okay. Unfortunately, the setup in the new machine did not get along because Adobe Flash Media Encoder decided to literally hang everything on the UI thread. So we're just gathering questions right now because we were running right up to the wire trying to get you guys videos. So, here's hoping. How are you? Okay, cool. We've got 3 people. It looks like. Well, no, there's got to be more than that.
Worth it!
Gordon, Laura, Aaron. It looks like Douglas Michael. Yeti Sarge was there. So we got more than 3. Don't know why that's... Yeah, whatever.
Okay, questions are all in.
Okay.
I think.
And because we're doing an interview today, what we're going to do is we're going to run through the interview, targeting right around 45 minutes maybe. Then we will excuse the Northwest Nerdcast. Okay, perfect. We will excuse the Nerdcast folks, and then we will answer your questions. So, or we could all answer. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll just play it by ear. This has been just a great, grand, amazing day.
I don't think I've been excused from anything for a long time. That's very formal.
Yeah, I know.
I used to get excused from classrooms all the time.
Of course
So-
you do. You're awful.
This is yours, guys.
Ooh!
We don't
Yeah,
need
drop it a little.
anything.
Say what?
We don't need anything up but audition.
But audition, correct.
Okay. And it saved all the settings, so I'm
Yeah,
assuming
that's.
I'll be able to get.
It looks like. Let's just double check here. Got that guy.
Yep.
Got that guy.
And I already saw yours popping. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Oh, Gewalt. Another Yiddish things. Laura Adams lost 32 pounds in 11 weeks. Meth is a hell of a drug.
Yay, Laura.
I
Yay,
don't
that's
think
awesome.
she's actually on meth. It's Spokane. I don't know. I don't know if you cannot be
By
on.
the way, what's our framing? Do you want a chair? Do you not want a chair?
I wouldn't mind a chair, but I don't need one. Absolutely or anything. I'll just haul
So-
it because I'm
Yeah.
super tall, so it'll help.
Well, the video's aimed fairly lowish.
Yeah,
What
he'll
are
be
we
in
getting?
frame there.
Are you in frame?
I might not be in frame, but
I don't know if your listeners want an ass full of me. That's
Pretty sure
Yes, you're in
they
frame.
do want an
You're in
ass full
frame.
of you.
Okay.
Giggity.
I'll do this. Giggity indeed. Right?
Do we want to turn the air conditioner on?
Yeah, we do
Yeah.
want to turn the air conditioner on. All right, I think we're good. So, hello, everyone. Let's get this show on the road, I guess.
Yeah.
Why don't we?
Once, indeed. This is 59, right? It's 59.
Yeah.
Our 58th podcast. Episode 59.
59.
And we are
59.
joined by Northwest Nerdcast.
Yay!
Why don't you two introduce yourselves?
You go first.
I'm Will.
Okay, you don't have to yell,
Oh.
because that's really good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Will.
Well, yeah, but they're also really far away from
From the
it.
Northwest Nerdcast.
Do you want me to... Should I mic closer to them? Let's just...
We both project pretty well.
Yeah, we both project pretty awesome.
Yeah, but this is... unfortunately, we don't have a preamp for this.
All right.
So it's literally just the it's just phantom power, so it's whatever you push on the diaphragm.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway.
Whatever you push on the diaphragm.
There we go.
So hi, I'm Ron Leota, and I'm one of the hosts of the Northwest Nerdcast. We are a podcast all about role-playing, which might be in line with some of the interests of your listeners.
Nah,
no nerds listen to you guys?
2 or 3.
Yeah, we are fucked.
Yeah. And if
But you guys also do LARPing, right?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a form of role-playing.
Right.
But aren't you half like role playing and don't you split the podcast into 2 pieces?
Tabletop and LARP, but both
Okay,
of them
there
are
we
role
go.
playing.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay.
But I wanted to get that.
Got it.
Yeah,
Tabletop.
Tabletop and LARPing and all sorts of fun stuff. And guests from around the area, sometimes musicians and what have you, that are geeky and pertinent to the interests of our listeners. So, fun stuff.
Yeah, and just a little while ago, they had 2 awesome guys on.
Amazing
Really
guys.
cool people.
One of them was Connor Marks.
They
Yeah,
pretty
Marks.
much fucked our format for the episode, though.
Oh,
It was
did
good.
they?
No, it was good.
Did those people whom I do not know?
2 strapping young lads came to my home and recorded an episode with us that turned out
And
absolutely
by strapping,
amazing.
I think they were armed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they
Oh,
seemed
yeah.
like the type.
Oh, see, I went with the intent of stripping.
Okay, enough with the coy. Yeah, the 2 bards came to our podcast. And
We
it was
came to
awesome.
the
It was
podcast,
amazing.
and we were on there, and you guys
So
should have
much
listened to it, and we shared it a bunch, so you guys need to go out and listen to that podcast.
Yes.
These guys know how to handle 4 mics. They're good at it.
Well, that's what we do standard.
Yeah.
Ba-dum-bum. And we'll let that sink in.
Well, one of the mics just handles himself.
Yes, he does. So
Sure,
that's
he
what
does.
he's doing
He's
right
not
now,
here,
'cause
so
he's
we
not
can.
here.
He's not here, so we can make fun of him.
Probably drinking and handling himself, which is
well,
good estimation.
Which is what he does on the podcast.
which
so.
is honestly better than what we're doing. So
Yeah.
lucky bastard.
Although we could be drinking.
We could, but we're not. So
We could be.
I think
30
he's pushing at
seconds.
something.
30 seconds.
We
could
could be.
we could be. That's
Could
true.
be having
You-
scotch.
you could be
Okay,
having scotch.
That's right. You
Yeah.
could be. I have rum.
Oh yeah,
I
I'd
have
have that.
23-year-old rum.
Oh,
Ooh.
a little old for me. But
Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkinhead rum, nice. Is it in a pumpkin?
Yes, it is.
Oh, all right, sounds good. So why don't you guys tell us a little bit, like where can people go and find your fine podcast?
Oh, that's pretty easy. Just go to NWNerdcast.com or Facebook.com, NW Nerdcast. NW Nerdcast is pretty the easiest way to find us. That's yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Go to Google and type it in. It'll show up multiple things for us.
Yeah, if you go to our Facebook page and ask me to Google it for you, I won't because I just can't handle that level of stupid.
We'll do it.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll charge you 25 cents, but we will do it
Per letter.
per. You guys didn't get Northwest nerd. You got an NW nerd.
Yeah.
Damn it.
We are lazy. It's, you know what? As I learned from my old coding teacher, the fewer keystrokes, the better.
It's true.
You know,
Yeah, well,
if you can save keystrokes, do it.
I'm certain there's at least one listener who would have just been like, Northwest? Fuck, no.
No,
Ugh.
I am gone. Goodbye. And then people thank you for
Yeah.
the other side of the country.
I did have a
Western.
tattoo artist wanted to have a website called horseshoesandhandgrenades.com,
Ooh, nice.
which is cool until you have to type in horseshoes and hand grenades.
yeah.
I felt that way about my main website, Attention Span Games, which is great.
Oh yeah,
And then afterwards it was like ASG.com. Like,
Yep.
nice. Well, the fact you got ASG.com is pretty
yeah,
impressive.
I got AS Garb for my.
Oh, AS Garb.
It's an amazing show of your technical skills to clap right in front of the microphone.
I know, right?
Yeah.
You should have
excited.
You should have pitched closeonlycounts.com as the website for that guy. That would have been awesome. And it opens up horseshoes and hand grenades. But Close Only Counts is almost the same length, so fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So you
no,
should've
it's
gotten
only
both
3
of them.
words. Close only counts. It's better than
Horseshoes and
Horseshoes.
hand grenades is only
But it's
three.
horse shoes.
Well, okay,
and
I see. Compound
grenades.
Right. All right, fine.
If you want to get technical, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you're hitting H. H isn't a home. That's like it's off of your main. Yeah.
Okay, this will go
H
back.
and G sucks.
We'll divert really quickly. So I have a web development website. It's called netandwebforyou.com because it was networking and web. And I had just seen Nut and Honey commercial. And I thought, Net and Web, perfect. It's exactly what I need. netandwebforyou.com.
Then
How
the
hard can that
Juggalos
be?
came.
N-E-T, no, not Met, as in Harry Met Sally, net, as in fish net. N, the letter N, web, the number 4, the letter U, .com. Yeah, worst fucking business name ever.
It sounds like you're going to want to buy my gold when I go there, so
Yeah.
I would never... Anything with 4U in the... Fuck that.
I know.
It's like anything that like they call it great quality. You're like, well, I know that's a pile of shit.
Exactly. My fear would be that you would attract juggalos with a name like Net and Web.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, man. I made the huge mistake of naming a band something that sounded like everything else. Me and Will were in ancient times ago called The Sonority, because we thought we were being hip using music words. And then every time we'd play somewhere, it'd be like, so you guys, the seniority, the sorority is up next? It's like,
No.
yeah, I know it's a music term. Sorry, maybe I just won't be a geek about it next time.
Yeah.
oh, yeah. Maybe you should piano your fucking mouth, guy.
Do we have any questions thus
We
far?
don't.
from the-
We don't.
No one cares.
No, Laura's just bragging about her weight loss like a jerk.
Okay.
As somebody who
I've
needs to
lost
lose
7
weight, good for
pounds.
you.
No, totally
Like,
good
that's
for
awesome.
you. But I want to lose more, so...
How did you lose the weight, Laura?
Oh, she
Maybe
said
we
she
can-
did say that.
Oh, okay.
Let me check here.
I've eaten nothing but carrots and celery.
I like that you guys give your
Victoza? I
people
don't
a
know what
chance
that
to
is.
respond to things. We're just like, yeah, email us. You'll totally get on the show.
I don't know. It looks like the answer was Victoza. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Victoza.
Neither
So,
do I.
yeah, maybe it's like a Romani curse or something.
Could be.
Did she get the thinner
She got the
spell?
thinner spell. Yeah.
I just use anorexia. I'm just like, oh, not eating for a week.
I just went on.
You're
I got a
hypoglycemic.
tapeworm.
That's a terrible idea.
I know. I think that's what gave it to me.
Oh, okay.
Oh man! Do not do what Donnie Don't does, folks. Don't.
Will is our Donnie Don't.
Yeah. Well, he's everyone's Donnie Don't.
I do what I can.
Really?
You know what? I learn things the hard way, so you don't have to.
Clap again.
By clapping
I
in
will
front
cut
of
your
me.
fucking hands off. Remember, we don't edit.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm
bro.
so used to having Ron edit.
Well,
He
maybe
fixes
Ron can
things
edit
in
this. I don't
post,
know.
yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
great.
Ron fixes
I'll just
We'll just send you the
it
files.
around.
It'll be great.
That sounds like an awesome thing I get to do.
No, we're not going to do that.
But Will is my fault, kinda, so. I was like, there's 4 of us usually.
Like,
you know,
like you're taking credit for this whole thing, or he is the thing that faults
You know what? If he was
I'm the
quiet
part-
and never said anything about it, I never would have showed up.
Like he
I'm
is
also
the
the
fault in
producer
yourself.
of the show, so when you produce, I'm supposed to produce the
Right,
cast
produce-
members. There's
produce the
supposed to be
people.
4 of us. Hi, Mike and Taylor, by the way. You suck for not making it.
Die in a fire, Mike and Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if anyone
Not
out there-
Taylor, we like you, but Mike, you can
Oh.
die in a fire.
Well, I've met Taylor.
Mike,
so I don't know if
Mike
I like
lived
it or
through a
not.
fire. How's that? How's that
Ooh,
for a
ooh.
yeah? Oh, burn.
I like
Oh, by
that.
the way, okay, for those few at home seeing the sporty garb that Will is wearing, it is a long coat of leather and
Rivets.
rivets. Where did you make it yourself?
Yeah. This is one of my designs. So I own a gaming company and a costuming company. I represent a whole bunch of people who make really cool stuff, and when I get bored, I get to make cool stuff. But yeah, this was me ignoring the world for a week.
Plug number 2.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, that's good. We'll link to it, or probably not. But
Yeah.
no, for you, no.
Yeah,
No,
we have someone
maybe.
who does that.
We're not gonna.
No,
No, we
We'll need
might
to-
though.
Whatever.
Yeah.
we'll need to tell Seth.
You know, I was going to say your super fan
Get
that we
to-
heard about.
Yes, Seth.
Yeah, Seth.
He'll take care of it.
Oh no, he is.
You need to say the link though, so that you
Oh.
can.
He's our kismet, is what he is. He's
Yeah.
just pure
You've
love.
already actually
It's
said it.
asgarb with a B.com.
Okay, wonderful,
Yeah.
It's like you expecting.
Asgarb.
Yeah,
I like
Asgarb.
It is
yeah.
Asgarb. Yeah. No,
perfect.
Yeah.
it's like it's Norse swear.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah, this is terrible.
Oh.
I'm not happy with where this went.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you ever happy with where you're?
I'm never happy with
Oh,
anything.
Okay.
I am a terribly unhappy human being.
You guys seem so joyful and full of life, though, when I've seen you at RadCon. And
Well,
then
there's
came to our
booze
place.
involved.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
pretty
Radcon
much.
booze.
Like,
You've seen us happy and hungover.
yeah, you get to Radcon and it's like the blood of 3 babies and a bunch of vodka. It's great. You're
You're
ready to go.
When you walk into a room and someone just hands you a random cup, I'll drink that.
No one else here has this same cup. Yeah, safe.
The way I look at it, I'm like, you know what? I'm hideous enough that no one's trying to get in my pants. This is just they're being nice. So I don't worry about being rude.
So it's a pity
yeah.
drink?
Yeah.
I have no desire to remember anything anyway.
Yeah.
So I drink. I just find cups and drink them. I will down anything.
You're like, this smells like it's drugged.
Yeah.
I'm drinking it.
Wow.
It smells like forgetting. So that's RadCon.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. And SpoCon, we're going to miss this year. I'm just going to put that out there.
Yep,
for
neither
Laura.
of us are making SpoCon. I, however, am going to be at Gen Con.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nah, I'm working.
Yeah,
It's working. I get to be slave labor, but I get to I get to be in Gamers Live, which is awesome, and that's fun.
Or whatever that iteration is going to be called this year.
Well, yeah.
But yes, you get to be in that. And
Yeah.
I'm sure that they'll have it figured out so that they can have that one for a DVD. I'm
Yes.
still getting the footage from last year, and I'm still going to edit it, and it will still be a usable cut.
Yeah, my suggestion of constant improvement did not get accepted as a title. So
It should have.
Gummers Live did not either, but it was a completely different show.
Yeah, yes. Totally
So.
different.
Yeah.
And wholly appropriate for Gen Con, ironically. Not ironically.
Not
I used that wrong
ironically,
again, didn't I?
you did. You're terrible at English.
I know.
So.
You guys said you were going to RadCon again this year, right?
Yeah, we will probably be going to RadCon
Nice.
In
again.
Next year.
2015,
Yeah, yeah.
Next year.
It'll be next year. Yeah.
Years are
This
linear.
calendar
Well-
year as ushered in by RadCon.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
given that I am not being excluded as I am this time by being cast in a show.
Yes.
Oh.
My tech weekend is the weekend of SpoCon / Gen Con
Gen Con,
because
right.
they're the same flippin' weekend.
What show are you on?
I will be in a show called Middletown down in Olympia.
Oh, cool.
It's a Will Eno.
Which is
Contemporary
itself a
show.
middle town.
Yes,
Very
it
interesting.
is. And I got a good part. So
Cool.
I was going to be like Villager number 1,
Oh.
but now I'm cop.
Ooh.
Which
Number
is,
7.
It's really kind of cool. The opening monologue is 1.5 pages and it's one sentence.
It's ridiculous.
All right.
That
You
is
get to take a
re-
breath
it
in
is.
that one sentence, or do you have to pass
A
out?
little bit, but it's
goddamn ridiculous. I'm just
yeah.
putting that out there.
Wow.
It is
Oh, I was
amazing.
bad at writing.
Well, I don't think it's bad writing. I think it's the purpose of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
there's
talk
lots
shit
of
about
commas-
people
It's
that's
good
putting it in
writing.
shows,
lots
man.
of
We're
commas
guests.
and semicolons.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't say there wasn't punctuation, just one period.
It's good writing if you're a sadist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So it's basically one of those, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, men and women, boys and girls, those breathing and not breathing, and by breathing I mean, and it just keeps on.
is this an all ages show?
It is-ish.
That's weird.
Ish.
I don't know that there's any foul language, and there's no subject matter that is really inappropriate, except that I get to beat the shit out of people, which is awesome. as
So-
a cop.
Violence is okay.
Literally, because I think that would tip it over to inappropriate. If it's a fecophilic fun fest, I don't think I want like with a front row that has to have
It
plastic.
depends upon how good I am, whether or not it is fecophilic.
Okay.
If I don't do my job, it's a non-shitting
You are-
experience.
you
But
are the
if
Gallagher-
I do what I'm supposed to,
You are the Gallagher of anal release.
yes.
Good job.
Just busting shit bags with a hammer.
Yeah, exactly. Still see it's
That's a good punk band name. Busting
Yeah.
shit bags with hammers.
Busting shit bags with a hammer.
Note to self: if I ever start a punk band.
Yeah. Yeah.
With corn.
What's awesome is I can follow you as Gallagher 2 of this whole thing and not make any money at all. But maybe get a show in Vegas.
Yeah.
He was just terrible. Gallagher 2, if
2.
you're listening, you suck. No offense. Total offense. All offense. 100%.
Is he a human being sequel? What the fuck does that even mean?
He is the original Gallagher's brother, who looks kind of like him, stole his act, went on the road with it, and there's nothing you can do because you can't copyright an act.
Mm-hmm.
So he bills himself as Gallagher 2, smashes watermelons with a hammer, and rides his brother's coattails, and it's just fucking terrible.
That is absolutely horrible.
Yeah, he's like
Does
one
he
of
have
those.
hair?
No, not much.
He doesn't even have that.
No.
I thought maybe at least if he had hair.
Yeah, but he's like
something more
he's kind of the Bronson third stringer of prop comedy.
yeah.
So
That's like punching Art in the dick. Why would you do that?
Art, if you're listening, I'm totally gonna punch you in the dick. I just want you to know that.
By the way,
Art Reynolds, folks.
Art Reynolds, beautiful man, cut all of his hair. He was at the Bit of Bad Luck screening. I didn't even recognize him. He had a vest on, looking all svelte and hipster-like, and I was... Art Reynolds?
I don't accept this
Beautiful
as a reality.
man.
I refuse to accept this as a reality. We still have that video of us going up as his hair is being brushed because it was long and flowing, and it looks like there is some woman with just this beautiful, beautiful hair sitting in a chair. We brush it, and we come around, and it's him going, which, if you are listening, doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean anything.
But it was great, and we still have that video somewhere. I think it's online actually. I think we put it up.
Probably.
I hope we put it up.
How does someone roll in all hipster? Like they listening and you'll know us by the Trail of the Dead or something, bumping that in their car, and they get out and they have like aviator shades. Is that? I don't know. I don't live in Portland, so I'm a little confused.
I don't know. Hipster. I don't even know.
Oh, you think hipsters only live in Portland?
No, they live everywhere. But
okay.
The
they
mass
don't really
conglomerate-
live anywhere.
the mass conglomerate I saw was in Portland when I was down there for what con were we at?
You came with me to Oricon?
Oricon. That's
Oh,
all.
you need to get up north into Seattle proper more often.
Yeah, I work in South Seattle. I don't
There
do
are
the
packs of hipsters floating on by.
I've given up. I don't
their
even think
own ironic
hipster
excrement.
doesn't mean anything anymore. Because hipster's mainstream in Portland, so being a hipster automatically makes you not a hipster?
Right.
You just hipster inceptioned us.
Yeah, hipster.
Oh.
It's true.
Hipception.
It's a real thing. Like, whoa, you probably haven't heard what it sounds like, but that's fine. It makes no sense. You can't... And
Does it sound like that sound a racquetball makes inside of a racquetball room where everything just weirdness?
Hipception? Or,
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, or just inside
Do
my
we look
head
like a group
all
of
the
guys
time.
who play racquetball? To
Yes.
You know what?
I'm
Nick-
going to go with sure.
Yeah, sure. Nick Bond doesn't look like someone who plays racquetball, but he's a beast.
Sure.
So, suck it.
Yeah.
Like at racquetball or
Yeah.
just in general?
Both,
He's just a
but
beast.
like
Okay.
both, but
He's like my size, but does athletic stuff.
What a dick.
I don't know why we are like just randomly talking about him. That seems weird.
I don't know.
It has nothing to do with anything we do. Hi, Nick. I guess.
Racquetball.
Will he listen to this?
He might.
I'll tell him to.
Oh, okay,
We
great.
said his
Hey,
name.
Nick, what's up?
I don't know you, but I already hate you.
That was Andy.
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, am full of love.
Yes.
Good.
Andy's
Did I
the
say
bald
on the other
one
ham?
with
You might
glasses.
be.
Or did I say hand?
I don't.
I'm
I
not
don't
sure
listen
what
to
I
you,
enunciate.
dude. I don't listen to a word you say ever.
I don't either, and it's obvious.
It really is. It's kind of scary.
No, I get this.
Sad.
I don't listen
You
to
know,
me.
there's going to be a story about you like next
But-
week, wandering around buying flowers
No,
for
this
like
is
your dead wife.
If I listened to
Ouch,
everything
no.
I said, I'd go crazy.
Oh man. So
And theater people everywhere are killing me silently.
oh, nice bass going out there.
Yeah.
I'm really happy I get to hear that person's music.
I'm really happy with getting rid of the one awful neighbor and the people next door to her also unfortunately moving and inheriting two awful neighbors.
Oh, fun.
Oh.
That's good.
Well, you always trade up like that. There's just no getting around it.
Yeah, I
mean,
know.
If the more you hate your neighbor, the worse the next person in that spot will be. The end.
Well, I am thankful though that the fourth house down probably won't be filled for a while.
On account of the murder?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
See,
Whoa.
you thought it was only in Kent.
Well,
that
no, it
is-
was a family murder. It was a nice, wholesome family murder.
That's fucking horrible.
Where someone, well, boyfriend, it was a known, it wasn't like a random assailant, right? It was,
What? No.
no, I thought it was an ex-boyfriend.
Oh, okay. I had
That's what I'd
read up
heard.
The whole. There was a woman that lived down here. Her daughter came home, saw blood on the wall, got into her bedroom and found a candle lit, sitting on her bed, burning, and decided to exit the house, call family members, who then found her mom in a closet, expired in very graphic detail.
That's
And
fucking horrifying.
For the longest time, nobody knew what it was. About a month and a half, and then they said, "Well, we think we have something," and then whoosh, we've got a guy in custody.
Wow.
Yeah, they expire really quick. It's like bananas.
Yeah,
It's like your body's good. Oh, it's over. You can't use it anymore.
yeah,
So.
it was bad.
I gotta go
Yeah.
lock my door. I'll be.
But other than that, everything's great here.
Do you really have anything in your car worth locking your door
Oh, dear
for?
God, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so don't get
Call
stabbed.
my car the shit machine for a reason. That thing is just on
I am
borrowed
wearing
time.
the only valuable thing that was in my car.
Scott's going to wreck it. That's awesome.
Any other questions? No.
No.
No one's helped.
Let me
us?
check. I don't know.
Have
You
we
guys keep
lost
talking.
people? Have we lost viewers? Is that the problem?
Have they gone down?
Well, we're... Phrasing.
Phrasing.
Words have power.
They do. They do. Back to Gummers Live. We just have one request. So, according to this, we have 2 viewers right now.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome. Normally we have around 9.
Tiffany and Brian?
Nope.
No.
We've got Laura.
She's
Laura's
still
the
here.
only one really hanging on. Laura and
Okay.
Gordon, I think. Laura asks, what kind of stuff does Northwest Nerdcast talk about on their show? We did answer that at the beginning, but we were probably too busy talking
We
about
can
it.
elaborate. if you
Also,
wish.
more specifically,
Yeah,
like,
more
we
specifically.
usually break it down into 2 segments. We usually have a tabletop segment, and it's usually we'll just pick a topic, so it could be just tabletop 101.
Okay.
Or how to not be a douchebag, when building a character, or
Keeping your
Not
game
following.
going once members leave. Just
Yeah.
like basic. We want it to be kind of informative, but also fun. So there's a lot of banter and just having a good time. But
Sweet.
then we actually pick topics, and all of us have been in the role playing scene for over a decade at this point. So we all love role playing. So we just talk about those different things, try to give people pointers, maybe new to the hobby. But a lot of our listeners are like people who are brand new to live action role playing or
Oh,
tabletop, who are like, shit, I didn't even know to think about that, bringing something to sight or playing a game. So yeah, we try to be informative and funny, which doesn't always work. Sometimes we're funny and not informative. Sometimes we're not either.
and sometimes it just breaks down.
Yeah, sometimes just got to break it down.
We don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
No.
We've never not been funny.
Speaking of this
Informative.
specific podcast that we're on right now, in terms of breaking down.
The RadCon one was funnier than I think you guys thought it was. Because I remember you were like, oh, I didn't know about that show. And I went back and listened to it, and I laughed. I thought it was good.
I
Oh,
enjoyed it.
yeah, well, I felt like we burned through so much at the panels.
Yeah.
Because we did. We burned through a lot of really good dialogue at the panels.
Yeah.
And people coming to the podcast had already been to the panels, so you can't just rehash that. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess you could.
We rehashed things, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
We
But
definitely
we-
do in panels.
We
Yeah.
did get enough feedback from you guys and from some of the other people that were there that we did put it back out there.
Yeah,
That
we
was
did.
cool.
We did. We almost didn't. We almost canned it, but
We Rochambeau'd over it.
we...
Well,
we
the
just...
episode that never was.
Frankly, we were doing that anyway.
That's true.
Yeah,
It was
that's
just, it's RadCon. You're a little drunk.
It's what set my bar for you guys. That's the first episode I listened to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
that's
started
awesome.
there and I started working my way backwards.
Okay, well, working your way backwards is a good way to go. We definitely blew our load right at the beginning of this whole thing. That's where all of our best stuff is.
That
I
was
was
not
actually-
the case with Nerdcast.
No, we were kind of awful in the first 10 episodes because we were all getting our groove and recording on subpar equipment. I think the first episode was done on a laptop mic because my system blew the day we recorded. And I'm the type that if I don't just do shit,
You won't do it,
I won't do
right.
it. I'll just get lazy. So we just recorded and just started with it, and it ended up working out. And then our fans bought us a new sound, like a new recording system. That's
So
awesome.
cool. That is so cool.
They freaking love us. We love them.
Oh, and that reminds me, for those of you listening at home or watching or whatever, soon, hopefully by tonight, there will be a PayPal button on the site where you can contribute to Two Bards podcast.
Yes.
So that should be good.
There will be a subscribe
Subscribe
or
one time.
donate.
Okay.
No, subscribe to. We'll figure that out. There'll be at least one button, maybe two.
Just give us money. Just
Yeah.
give us money.
And not to get all sanctimonious about it, but give them your money. Like, this is free entertainment that these guys put out there for y'all, and it's really nice to get a little bit of scratch for something you're putting time and actual work into. And
Well, it's good to cover your costs at least.
yeah.
Yeah, I would have argued putting work into it until today. Today, the reason the live video cast is even up is because we have strung a Surface tablet out of the room to plug into another outlet because we were out of outlets.
Oh,
A
wow.
USB hub is like hooking up, and we've got everything like, so everything's daisy chained off of this hub into the actual recording area where there is a GoPro camera sitting up there. The cable from that is running down to an encoder box that is hanging from other cables.
Mm-hmm.
It is actually hanging from the mic cable that we're. So this is a classy job.
Yeah.
This is pretty Mickey Mouse.
Now,
And
I
it's,
know.
It's all because
Oh!
Flash Encoder is a piece of shit
It is a piece of shit. I'm going to look at what other options we
that
have.
broke the computer, 6 times in a row?
At least 6. We rebooted so many damn times because when it died, it took everything with it.
We don't video cast, but I really love my solid state, its own recording system.
That thing's nice, and I gotta admit, I have been thinking about it.
They're awesome, and then you can just dump the audio directly into whatever edit. I mean, you guys don't do a ton of editing, but I do a lot of editing, so I just
Right.
dump it all into Audacity, and I don't pay anything for that. And,
Right.
Right.
yeah, use Audacity; those guys are rad.
They are pretty rad. I will admit they're pretty rad. The software patents on Audition means Audacity can't do a few things the same way. So every time I open it up, I cry a little.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get used to it, it's great.
Yeah.
So-
We use the Adobe Audition.
Since
Oh, okay.
since it's being paid for anyway.
I like the Adobe Audition.
Is that like the Google or the Facebook?
It's like the Facebook or the Twitter.
It's like the kids
It's
are
the
into
Audition.
the Pokemans.
They're into
Yes.
the Pokemans.
Yeah, I hear the kids
Why
love
are
the
they into the
Pokemans.
Pokemans?
I don't know.
Because you've got to collect them all.
Oh, the mystery's been solved.
Wow,
we can
okay.
all go home.
We are all
So-
consumer whores, and if we can get more, we do.
So, funny story about collecting all the Pokemans. No, hear me out.
Oh, man,
So,
here we
Erin
go.
used to work at Nintendo,
Mhm.
and she worked with someone who I will not name,
Good.
but this person, it's a guy. There's no way I'm going to be able to hide the gender.
Okay.
Because
well,
this is the kind of idiocy that you only get out of someone,
with testicles.
who's
Yeah.
just so. He's a nice guy, if you know what I'm saying.
I do.
Ooh.
Anyway, he memorized all of the Pokemon, memorized all of them. So, and what Aaron would do to troll this guy is when he would go to talk to a woman. Well, Nintendo. I mean, it could have been a girl, could have been a woman, could have been other. She would come up and say, "Oh, yeah, I heard that there are now 235 Pokemon." And he'd flip out because he would be like, "No, there's only 180." What? I don't know. I don't know. Those numbers are fake. And then it would be awkward silence, and he'd be making eye contact with this person, and she'd usually just walk away.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great. It's like
That is hardcore real world trolling.
it is. It's the best kind of sniping.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, gotta catch them all.
Yeah, I actually worked for a security for one of the big Pokemon video game tournaments.
Oh, yeah?
And so they had the juniors division, which was 13 and under, and then the adult edition setup, which was 14 and over. And oh my god, the kids 13 and under. Great sportsmanship. One
Of
kid was
course.
just kicking the shit out of another one. He's like, "No, you did a great job. I really liked this combination of that." And then you got into the adult class, and
Dear
that
God.
is where it all just crumbled. I expect it to really be the other way around. I was like,
no.
okay, adults at least understand, the sport of things, and kids, they just don't understand it yet. And I'm like, no, kids really get it, and adults are horrible human beings.
Well, because kids know it's a game.
yeah.
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 Well, adult geeks is nothing fires them up more than
Right.
the thing they're geeking out about. I mean, especially if you get it wrong. Bringing up the example of the Pokemon. I mean, shit. The funnest thing to do is just to go down to some sort of Midnight Madness release, walk past the line, and say the wrong movie. Oh man, Lord of the Rings is going to be great at a Star Wars opening. It's they're just losing their shit. You have never seen more people dressed like elves just freak the fuck out. What do you mean Star Trek? This is Lord of the Rings. And it's well, I know.
It says right here on my ticket.
I'm here at midnight with you. Obviously, I know what the fuck I'm doing.
I love the sanctimonious snorters. Those are my favorites. Really? Oh, God. Yeah, no, you're the best. You're why I come and say these things, because you are just terrible at everything.
You don't know Chewbacca's son's name?
But no, the best thing is to like find the really, really geeky stuff and fuck that up, because then they lose their shit. You know, like call it litmus bread or something. They will fucking go insane. Because then you've taken a piece that's like really core to them being super geeky and you fuck that up. You know, they can't just be like, well, you're a plebe. They have to be like, they have to address the fact that you knew enough to get to that point. Right. And yeah, that's when they turn red and start breathing really heavy and, you know, like kind of have to pace back and forth or they're going to punch a wall.
Well, the other one is pretending you love something geeks hate. Like, I had a guy who's a movie geek, just hardcore, loves movies, and I went into probably a half-hour-long speech about how Michael Bay's Transformers was the best nerd movie ever created. And by the end of it, he is red-faced and seriously looking like he's going to punch a fucking wall. He's like, how could you even say that was a good movie? Are you stupid? What's wrong with you? And I'm like, dude, I'm just fucking with you after a half hour, and he had to leave the room, and then everybody looked at me because I was trying to ruin the party again.
Well, it's not really a party until someone's crying. So yeah.
Or someone has punched a wall.
Or someone has punched a wall. That's
both. Ooh, that's.
I grew up in a lot of trailers, man. I know about wall punching. And I'll tell you something, man. Paneling, it doesn't hold up for shit.
Nope.
No.
See, most of my family's Samoan, so it doesn't matter what they punch, it's going to die.
That's true.
Brick wall, Grandpa punched the brick wall again. All right, it's Grandpa.
You know you're poor when you know what it feels like to punch a raccoon through paneling. That's when you know you really were at rock bottom most of your life.
I have no clue about punching one through paneling, but I have gotten one high before.
You've gotten a raccoon high?
Yeah, in fact.
We're not telling that story, Will.
Why aren't we telling that story?
Because my face is on this.
Oh.
Because what?
My face is on this.
Why was your face on a high raccoon?
Yeah.
Will's face was very close to the high raccoon.
Yes, I was feeding it chips, and every time it would come up and grab a chip, I'd just blow into its face. After a while, it stopped running away.
To the point that the next day the raccoon showed up with a homie, just like, "What's up, man? Did you bring the shit?"
You chunks out or what?
Will was like, "Guy, this is too much. We spent all last night. It was so much too. The people who were stoned playing with the raccoon got bored of the raccoon.
What?
Like that's how long it hung out.
Around. The worst thing is. So we had always this rule, if you're doing stupid shit, don't film it. We were too high to follow said rule. So the next day, we looked at the camcorder, it had really happened, and then that camcorder got stolen out of a car.
I shit you not, there's a person out there in the world who has stolen a camcorder, and all that's on it is Will getting set on fire, because we were doing a stunt for fun, and then followed by a bunch of stoned people on a porch messing with this raccoon. Not even messing with it, wasn't cruel. This raccoon was hanging out.
Yeah, we were feeding it chips.
To the point that Will was putting chips in his mouth and being like, "Come here, little buddy." Yeah, and we're like, "Oh God, it's gonna maul him." People were trying to take flash photography so it would kill him. Will, not the raccoon. We like the raccoon.
We love the raccoon. Will sucks. God, he's just so terrible.
So every once in a while, we jump on YouTube and just look like for
stoned raccoon or something.
Guy getting high with raccoon. And it's like, no,
never made it.
No. Well, one day.
Yeah.
One day maybe.
They probably put it all towards the meth smith. And
yeah.
As soon as I decide to run for office, it'll appear.
Of course it will.
You should really run for office.
I should never run for office.
There's so much.
We don't even run.
I think that will be the least of your worries if you choose to run for office.
It's true.
Okay,
it's probably a medium worry.
Yeah.
It's a medium worry.
I don't know. It depends. Are they allowed to...
Is it date stamped? Is the video date stamped?
I have no clue.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
There's the problem.
It was on an old school film camcorder, so probably.
They don't make film camcorders. They make tape camcorders.
Whatever that.
Okay.
It's not digital.
Like a Bolex?
See, you mess with something a geek knows about and loves, he's gonna fucking correct you.
I'm going to punch a wall. Hand me that raccoon. We actually kind of have a raccoon. It's a red-tailed panda.
It's a red panda.
A red panda? Well,
Red panda.
You're right.
Roughly the size of a raccoon.
It's a raccoon with good PR. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That was probably good.
It's the mascot from 2 Rooms.
Is the mascot from 2 Rooms?
Yeah.
I
can't remember why.
I was going to say, I watched that play. That's not the mascot to 2 Rooms.
Oh, it was for the cast of 2 Rooms. Because every time we get depressed, the girls would pull out YouTube and watch the red pandas playing ball.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
because there's nothing in that play that was adorable.
Look, they're in the snow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
if the raccoon had a pillowcase over his head and was bleeding profusely after being punched while tied to a chair, then I believe it was a mascot for 2 Rooms.
That's true, yeah.
So,
Sounds like an awesome
I was
show.
gonna say,
That
I think I
stuff's
need to
in
watch
the
that.
bag downstairs on the washer, so I hope nobody ever breaks in here and
I
notices.
kind of hope they do. Are the chains still down there too?
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
With the coagulated blood on them.
Yes.
That's always super metal when you have something like a prop, because as a LARPer, I have all sorts of crazy props in my car, and every time I get pulled over, I'm like, I have so many fake swords in here, and from a distance you can't tell all of them are fake. And I've got a huge vial of fake blood and some bloody rags from a thing I was doing. Oh boy, this is going to be awesome.
I like the bloody rags from a thing you were doing. Like everything, I was with you up until that point.
That was my coy way of not going into game mechanics of a LARP on your podcast. I think people will be like, that guy's too much of a fucking nerd. Where'd you get this guy?
I actually got pulled over on my way
Northwest
to...
Nerdcast is where we got it from.
I got pulled
Check 'em
over
out.
on my way to a LARP, and so I've got my vehicle just full of, fake weapons and all this stuff. And the cop comes up to the window, and he says, who does this vehicle belong to? I'm like, my company. He's like, what's your company? I was like, well, I do costuming and gaming. They're like, what kind? I'm like, well, all right, I'm on my way to an event. He's like, what kind of event? I'm like, a LARP? He's like, what kind of LARP? I'm like, a boffer LARP? All the stuff's in the back. And he was like, huh. And I'm like, yeah, I've kind of jumped the nerd shark for a living. And he's like, you don't need to explain that to me. And
Wow.
so he took my info, he walks away, and I look down at my hand, I look over the passenger, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I had a handful of cherry tomatoes in my hand when he showed up. He's like, oh yeah, you were eating them the whole time you were talking. And so the cop comes back and he hands me everything back. He's like, since you made me laugh, I'm letting you go. Have a good weekend. I was like,
Wow.
I was like, LARP stuff just got me out of a ticket. Yes! So, yeah.
It's the first time LARP's gotten anyone out of anything.
Yeah. Except for a date.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that would be more like LARP keeping you from getting into something. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
LARPers are kinky.
Oh yeah, they are.
Fuck, man. It's like SCA, and then like the Weird Live Steel guys, and then LARP are like at that point they're doing some shit.
It's not all. I mean, there's a lot of really normal people who play and stuff. Like we play people who's like medical doctors, cops, and like. But every once in a while you do get that super kinky crowd that does get involved with certain games, and the more vampire-y, the better.
Oh, the more vampire.
The more vampire stuff they got in there, the more. I stick with most of the high fantasy stuff, so that's usually just guys in their 30s who are really bored with their desk jobs.
And girls.
And girls,
I was going to say, a lot of our events are, pushing like 40% women.
Yeah.
So.
Just crazy.
Just pushing them. Just fuck you guys.
Wow.
Yeah,
Surprised
LARPing
they
is
come
the
back to the
patriarchy.
events.
No, God, no. You get punched in the face
dude.
for being sexist at a LARP.
Yeah, I would hope so. No, gaming, geekdom, it is. We have been living in a lie that people have been telling you that, oh yeah, no, women don't do any of this stuff, because they do. They're super passionate about it, and like I think the gate sales, the ticket sales for, I want to say ECCC, were almost 55% female.
Wow.
It's awesome.
So, yeah, it is a stupid lie perpetuated by stupid people.
Well, I'm just happy that it's becoming a much more safe environment for women to go to cons. I remember going to cons when I was younger, and it was just, if a woman was wearing anything at all revealing for her cosplay, she would get catcalls, and now I go to cons, some dude does a catcall, and 5 guys turn around like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yep.
And I'm just like, I love that.
Oh, it's great.
It just makes my heart so happy that dudes are
they're-
actually being like, don't be a fucking idiot.
It's getting safer, apparently, unless you run a new con in Portland, you dick fuck.
Yeah.
We brought this up on our cast, too.
What? We did?
We hate you.
Yeah, we went into it.
Cherry, what is it? Cherry City Comic Con or something
Yeah.
like that? Yeah.
Was I there for that one?
Yes.
I forget things.
Were you getting stoned with a raccoon?
I'm like, I have no clue what we're talking about.
You were eating cherry tomatoes the whole time.
It was so weird. You just zoned out. At
When
some
you
point, you're
said
just
that,
chewing
I'm
on your thumb.
surprised the cops didn't pull you out of the car. And go, I'm just gonna take a wild guess here. I'm gonna have you walk this line for me.
During when I was talking to him at one point, he had mentioned role models. I was like, more like Knights of Badassdom. And I was like, yeah, Dinklage plays an awesome stoner LARPer. And he looks at me and says, are you a stoner LARPer?
Oh, that is a loaded question.
And I was like, no.
No.
I'm a stoned LARPer right now.
Oh.
Well, are you buying? What's going on,
What?
bro?
Well, you
Wait,
can't-
shit, that's a cop.
You have to tell me if you're a cop. That's
That's right.
Do you like to party, sir? Sir, do you like to party?
Wow. That would win you points with the police.
Yeah.
Really, no. Well, maybe a few of them. I mean, they are
Yeah.
humans, mostly.
Sometimes.
The problem is, it's like the DMV thing. It's like a certain type of person goes to work at the DMV.
Well, I mean, if we want to, I see police officers as one of a couple people. You know, you get the people who just genuinely want to help their community.
Yeah, no, those people
and
are
like
always
heroic
great.
guys.
Yeah.
And then you get the occasional person who's like, I used to dunk nerds' heads in the toilet, and now it's illegal. Guess I get to do it for free or whatever. You know, and I've met those types of officers, but I say the vast majority of officers are actually just good people.
No, they
trying to
really
help.
are. They really
And
are.
then they get that same dickhead factor that makes video gaming kind of
Yep.
painful to be a fan of, because you're like, I love video gaming. It's like, oh, you're one of those guys that calls everything gay and whatnot. I'm like, no, I'm not. Those guys aren't really all of us. Seriously. We're
It's
not
like
all
I thought
two
about
bros
it.
that love Halo.
Yeah, those guys are usually between 12 and 20, and
No, the problem is they're not.
They're not.
That's
They're
the
our
worst
age,
part.
too.
Is like they act like they're between 12 and 20 for the rest of their fucking lives. That's the
Might as
worst
well.
part.
And it's sad.
yeah.
'Cause there's dudes our age who just haven't grown out of that. And it's crazy.
Dude, you're so gay. Probably like a dick in your mouth. Would you be into that?
That's like everything I've ever heard on an online Halo match.
Yeah, I know.
Ever.
Dude.
It's just
fucking,
that. It's just a string of dick.
Oh god, it's just terrible. It's fucking terrible.
I don't think I've ever not muted a game of Halo.
I just
Like,
love that new games, it just automatically mutes everything. I mean, even in fighting games, I go into lobbies to play a fighting game, and it's just automatically muted, and I'm like, I don't want to know you, I just want to fight you.
See,
You know what? I feel the same way when I walk into a bar.
Okay, I'm
Walmart.
talking about my
Yeah.
avatar of Superman fighting his avatar of Batman.
Oh,
That's just me.
what? So like we're talking like Justice Unlimited
Injustice.
or Injustice?
Yeah.
Gods Among Us. Yeah, okay.
I really like it, and they balanced it.
It's very interesting. I have a core issue with it, and that's I don't care if Superman punches you in the face with any kind of animosity. You're gonna be a lot dead.
Super pills. Everyone was on super
Everyone was on
pills.
super
Didn't you
pills.
watch the epically good story?
I don't. It's just.
Fighting games have stories?
Yes, this one actually did a whole cinematic piece
Yes.
where it was like cool cinematic,
But-
and then 2 fights or 3 fights in a row.
But Batman goes toe to toe with Superman, punching him. Not
Yeah, with
like,
punching.
That happens. The Joker punches. You can knock out Superman as the Joker. That's a thing you can do.
The premise is that everyone has taken super pills to have Superman's invulnerability and strength.
Right.
So they can all punch each other and it's okay.
Yeah.
But apparently that extends to their weapons too.
Right.
Because you get Deathstroke, who's just like, my bullets are super. What?
Well, and like I mean, because Diana whips out the sword, Superman's head's clean off.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't do magic well.
Right.
But it's super pills. I guess he took them too.
Yay, Aquaman!
Have you seen Flashpoint Paradox? Aquaman's badass.
Aquaman is kind of badass.
He
in
got-
He's
Flashpoint.
my babe.
I was hoping that was going to be on Netflix.
So Flashpoint, did you read the Flashpoint Batman?
I have not.
That is my favorite, subsection of
I
it.
assume
it's so good.
I assume it follows the same storyline with Bruce being the one who gets shot.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
Martha.
Martha
spoilering, and
Martha totally spoilers.
And-
So spoilery all over the spoil.
Speaking of Batman, this new Arkham show that's coming out.
I'm interested.
Is that
Yeah.
basically Batman Smallville?
no.
No, it's Gordon Smallville.
Yeah.
It's a Gordon show. I mean, Bruce is just a kid. I'm a little miffed because maybe they'll find a way to, but I mean, like, why change Pamela Isley's name? That made no sense to me. They changed her name to Ivy, straight up, like something. Really? Why? Pamela Isley's perfect.
Are they gonna take all the villain names and give them super obvious villain names now? I hope they don't.
The thing
do that.
is, it was only her, as far as I can
Really?
tell. The rest were, like Selena Kyle is still Selena Kyle, and I just don't understand.
Did they announce if Harleen Quinzel is going to be part of it?
I hadn't seen anything yet. I don't know how you make a child like a psychoanalyst, but we'll see. I mean, she's just like the really judgmental kid in class.
She's just constantly irritating Bruce.
If only I knew what we were talking
Wait,
Harley Quinn.
You don't know Harley
In
Quinn?
general.
Oh.
Go back a few more.
Oh.
Batman?
Just really
apparently
good
there's a new show. Is it on Fox? I think that's called
There we go.
Arkham.
Okay.
Arkham,
Yeah.
yeah. So
On
it's like
Fox.
it's a CW Bards sort of. Yeah, but it's. And then there's a new Constantine, which really has me kind of geeking out.
I hadn't actually heard of that.
It looks cool.
It looks good, and he's British. What?
What?
I'm so freaked out. He's British for real. Because Keanu played him, you see, in the movie, and it was not terrible if you didn't think of it as a comic book movie from the Constantine comics. If you thought about it as its own thing, like this has nothing to do with the comics, they just have the same name.
Comics. I just thought of it as a Keanu Reeves vehicle and thought, like all of them, since Bill and Ted, why? Why does he keep getting cast? Why?
He's a really nice guy.
47 Ronin, beautiful movie. Till he opens his fucking mouth.
Did you see Man of Tai Chi?
No, I couldn't. It has Keanu Reeves.
I
saw
actually
that.
did a good job.
He did. Okay, I really liked it. He did a great job until the one point where he tried to act, where he was sitting on the couch and he did something. Keanu acted. That's all. That's the only way I can describe it. He acted as opposed to just playing the Keanu character. Like that's where I'm okay. If he's playing the character if he's being Neo, if he's doing like whatever, I'm fine with him. Like that's what he does.
He has movies where he's perfect. A Scanner Darkly, perfect. He is perfect in that role.
Is that the rotoscope one?
He's drugged out the whole time. Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
You what?
No, you should watch
A Scanner Darkly. Go check it out.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's got.
Seriously.
Yeah,
I think it's on the Netflix.
it's the RDJ's in there, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, with Woody Harrelson, they're buddies.
Mm-hmm.
Steal the bike.
I love Willie Harrelson. He pretty much always plays that same character, but like.
So yeah, I'm still kind of on a high from True Detective.
Yeah. True Detective was so good.
It was so good. The only kvetch I have with the whole thing is that it was 8 episodes. It needed to be 10.
It felt rushed at the end.
It felt rushed at the end. It felt like episode 6-ish. There's a bunch of story missing. After that, I want to find out, hey, what's up with the old lady who they got kicked out of her house by her granddaughter? I want to know a lot about her. I want to know more about all this other stuff. And it's just like, no, you don't get that.
Did you see the net video where they edited the Star Wars Christmas special?
I did.
I finally got around to watching that.
It's the best thing. It's so good.
Out of the Furnace will also blow your mind with Woody Harrelson.
Really? Yeah. Check that out.
Yeah, it's a rough opening scene, and it doesn't get any easier for the rest of the movie. He plays one really good Appalachian meth head, hillbilly, fuck you up, the last person you want to be alone with.
Nice.
That sounds really cool. What did you say it was called?
Out of the Furnace.
Christian
Bale, Casey Affleck, Sam Shepard, Willem Dafoe.
Stop! I can only get so erect.
I know. It's a small room.
It's true.
Have you ever seen Pawn Shop Chronicles? Speaking of methed out guys, they took Paul Walker. This was before he passed on, of course.
Whoa!
But he played this hardcore meth head in it, and it was this really dark comedy, and he actually did a really great job. I always recommend it to people.
Movie?
Pawn Shop Chronicles, yeah. I think it's called Pawn Shop. I think it's called Pawn Shop Chronicles, I'm pretty sure. And it's like one of those movies where it's a bunch of their own little stories that all tie together by one central story. Yeah. It's a decent flick. I really like that.
Sweet. I will look it up. He's holding something close to his
I'm just reading stuff. It looks like Seven Realms popped on. So Fox and them's Seven Realms Productions. Yeah, so I'm just reading what they had to say. He's just telling a story. I'm not telling it again. I don't like reading. Reading's kind of work.
Yeah.
So
these guys have done enough work setting this.
And the nice thing is, it's there for posterity, and we've said it.
Yeah, your posterity is there. I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
So I have one burning question for you guys.
Do you
have any hope for the new Batman v Superman Justice Live.com or whatever the fuck they're calling it? The super long time new Batman.
They're calling it Super. Hey guys, the next one's going to be Justice League. We promise.
Right,
is what they're calling it. Yeah, Batfleck seems fine to me.
So did you? But coming from the perspective, did you like the most recent Superman movie?
No.
Okay, I didn't either. I fucking hated it. So
no, not at all. It was.
Really?
Okay. Are you ready?
I went in with no expectations, so I thought it was okay.
I went in with no expectations and was still terribly disappointed.
Why?
It was beautifully shot.
Yes.
The end of Adulation. So, Let's just start here. First of all,
Here we go.
You did this, Ron.
I'm happy.
Yeah, his dad telling him to just let people die? No. That's not canon, that's not anything. Superman throws a tantrum, ties a truck into a ball. No, would never happen. Superman is dressed like Hugh Jackman most of the movie. In that he's not. No. That's not, well, and also the super beard, okay, that was kind of cool. I'll give you the super beard was kind of interesting. But there's never, ever been any moral ambiguity when it comes to Superman. Trying to give him moral ambiguity feels false. Okay, you're an alien...
Okay, no, stop.
I just can't get behind Murder Hobo Superman.
Murder Hobo Superman.
Superman was written during a specific time period that has long since passed.
The Forevers? Superman's been around for...
I know, but he was written Cold War, World War II. There was a definite bad guy that Superman was against. Superman has ceased to be relevant.
That's Captain America.
No.
Superman started during the Great Depression.
Whenever it started, Superman's relevance as a character and individual battling whatever it is that he's battling has long since ceased to matter.
Okay.
Because Superman, if Superman is Superman, and moral ambiguity is not something in his threshold, he is not going to wreak havoc over whatever city that was that he damn near destroyed fighting people.
Oh yeah, that was a point that was on this train.
So what I'm saying is, just like the new reboot of Star Trek, where they give two shits about annihilating an entire city, or the Avengers, where they give two shits about annihilating an entire city.
In fairness,
or Godzilla, where they give two shits about annihilating an entire city.
I don't think Godzilla is really morally obliged to spare a city.
I don't think anyone's morally obliged to spare a city.
I think Superman is absolutely morally obliged to spare a city.
But everybody else today isn't.
So, hold on.
So, putting in some moral ambiguity helps make the character relevant, as opposed to him being his pious little 1930s perfect self.
I mean, he's always been a symbol, though.
Helps make the writers have an easier job, is what it does.
Sure.
They said, hey, let's take Batman, let's take Dark Knight, huh? What do you say we just make that and we put it just red and blue on him? Let's do that. Okay, ready? I've got more. There's more.
Okay.
Relatively unknown fucking journalist who the military hates, somehow still gets embedded with them, dropped off alone in the fucking Arctic in a windbreaker. Okay? Nobody questions this. Nobody goes back for it. Fine. You're a super being. You land on a planet. It hurts your lungs for about half an hour, and then you can blow up shit with your eyes. Let's terraform it and make it so we don't have that ability. Whee! Just fucking ridiculous. Oh, hey, how about when we send you off to the Phantom Zone, we put you in giant jelly dildos, and the Phantom Zone opens up as a gigantic Cthulhu-esque butt plug. Did you notice that? Huge fucking anal beads coming out of that thing. It was a black hole in space, shooting out anal beads. I'm sorry. Fucking ridiculous. Zod made no fucking sense. No. None. At all. Neither did his dad. Like, he made every fucking huge... He was worth... His real dad, Jor-El, was a worthless piece of shit. Everything he did was stupid. Everything he did was stupid. So, okay, Kal-El lands on Earth. Suddenly, fucking... Kevin Costner... Like, I don't know. I guess he probably got his baseball diamond destroyed by the meteorite or whatever, so he's got nothing better to do. Fucking just completely doesn't do what his dad was supposed to do. And then kills himself. No, he doesn't die. He doesn't die. You don't save a 17-year-old dog from a tornado unless you want to kill yourself. That dog was 17 fucking years old. It was there when the meteor fucking landed. So he went to save a dog that should have been dead 5 years ago. And told his son, no. Don't do it, man. Just leave me. Let it happen. I also have a theory that that's the Twister from Twister, by the way. Because it's the same year.
So pretty much everything he just said.
Oh,
I agree.
there's more.
There's a lot to it, but it's difficult because you do see Superman often as a symbol, and he's always been this symbol of good. And I understand doing the moral ambiguity thing with Batman, where he does beat criminals up, he breaks bones, he hurts people really bad to get information. He
just
essentially
doesn't shoot them.
He essentially tortures people. He beats them until they give him information. That I can get doing the dark side of things, doing a more darker thing. But I feel like recently, I mean, not just recently, but we've been having all these movies that just keep going, all right, what if we have this, but it's dark?
This is actually the reason I liked Captain America. He was unabashedly Captain America.
He was very Captain America.
It was a 1950s comic, and they didn't give a shit. Like, it was just like, they stuck to it. And you know what?
And Stanley Tucci.
And I don't like Superman. I've never liked him, because I don't like Power Unlimited characters. The one who's
I don't know, I like the Hulk, but again, the Hulk always has that flaw built in.
Yeah.
Where his rage and his inability to control his rage, that's a big fucking flaw.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to destroy a city, but he does all the time.
Yeah.
And then Planet Hulk.
Oh, god damn. Planet Hulk.
I love Planet
You know
Hulk. I'm
what?
sorry.
If you throw ultimate power at space really hard, it takes over. That's the moral of Planet Hulk.
Like the Illuminati of superheroes are like, you know what? The Hulk's a little too dangerous. We're shooting his ass into fucking space. This is enough. We have enough of him to start. So we're going to send him to a peaceful planet with no sentient life. And then, of course, because comics, he goes to War Planet instead.
Yeah.
It's good.
And he goes to a war planet after being so weakened he's barely anything, and still beats up the planet.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Like, the
is this
Hulk,
a movie or just a comic?
he punches his way to He's America, is what it is.
Oh, it's
Right.
it's a comic, but they did an animated feature
Yeah.
that changed the ending so much I wanted to punch something.
Oh, okay.
Like, I loved the ending of Planet Hulk, and which led into World War Hulk, and they did this ending with the animated Planet Hulk that was just like, why?
I don't... Well, because I don't think they wanted to make the next one.
Did it end with Captain Planet
Yeah.
being eco-friendly?
All I know is I still want to see the Civil War. Like, I want them
As something animated or live.
I either want it to be a movie series or even just HBO miniseries.
I can tell you it will never happen.
Like,
It can't happen.
I just want a director's cut of Watchmen with the real ending.
Yeah.
Because it was pretty damn good up until the ending.
Oh, I should probably read that.
And then a bunch of geeks just screamed at the screen. It was amazing. Because I went to a midnight showing, and you don't go to a midnight showing unless you want people to scream at
I
the screen.
felt very strongly that it was improperly rated. Mostly because there was 4-year-old kids in the audience when I went and watched it. And
There were 4-year-old kids in the audience when I went and saw The Passion of Christ. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those things. I was like, and people were like, "What? Just because there's a bunch of blue dicks in there?" I was like, "No, it was because of the other scenes." Like,
Yeah, you remember that part when that little redheaded guy beat the shit out of everyone, broke their bones, ripped them out?
I was like, you remember
the dog
the dog
stones?
scene, the almost rape scene? Like, they were all very, very, very graphic and not for kids. Like, and I like fuck kids. I don't care. Not sexually.
He just doesn't like kids.
I just
Don't say that wearing that outfit, okay?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not a huge fan of kids, but I'm still like, don't take them to that movie. Like,
Well, it's like my theory about Into the Woods. You can take your kids to go see Into the Woods if you leave after the first act. Then it's not okay.
Regarding someone saying Superman was created in June of 1938... So, regarding someone saying Superman was created in June of 1938, it was created by two people who lived through the Great Depression and who didn't give a fuck about Hitler at that point. Because nobody gave a fuck about Hitler in 1938.
Right.
So, just pointing that out. So, nobody in
The
the US.
anatomically
A lot of
correct
people
wolf
do.
happens in the first act.
A lot of fucking...
The show I ran sound for, they didn't have the anatomically correct wolf. They had everything except for that.
Oh,
so
because have you seen the...
I haven't seen the Broadway or the...
I missed it. Are we talking about Into the Woods? What are we
Yes.
talking about? Okay.
Yeah, he was saying that you can,
I just heard
you
wolf
can take
dick.
kids to see Into the Woods if you leave after the first act. And I'm like, no. The wolf, the anatom, because they have it on PBS, and it's wonderful. It's the one with Bernadette Peters and,
nice,
and everything.
nice.
But the wolf comes out, and I'm like, double taken going, is that cock and balls on the wolf? And he's just... Little Red Riding. That's not the
Wow.
right
No,
song,
but that would be, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so sorry, I stand corrected in the original...
Oh, Little Red
And
Riding
I was
Hood.
just like,
The
wow!
soundtrack to strippers losing all of their dreams.
So basically, I guess to retract and fix my statement, ask about the wolf cock before you go. If there's no wolf cock, your kids can happily sit through the first half into the woods.
Yeah.
And then the second half woods dreams.
Oh, so we had a question. What are our favorite parody songs? Oh boy.
Ooh.
God, I love so many.
White and nerdy.
White Nerdy's really good.
I think that like White and Nerdy was the first song that I really listened to. And it's like, you know what? If all rap music was like this, I would love rap. And then I started listening to
shit.
Oh, and Amish
yeah.
Paradise.
So basically, Weird Al
Okay,
rapping is
Weird,
what we're getting.
yeah,
at. Okay.
Weird Al
Yeah.
is masterful.
Yeah, I like all those. There were a few that we heard when we were at SpoCon that
Yes.
were awesome. Like the what was it? Superheroes owned by Marvel, now are owned by Disney.
Yes.
That was a really good, it was supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Nice.
But that was really well done. A vocally challenging song,
Yes.
to say the least. And that was the great Luke Ski, who
Yes.
is a Dr. Demento.
Luke Ski.
Nice.
Yeah, a Dr. Demento regular. A lot of fun. I like so many parody songs. There are a couple I hate, but I won't talk about them because they make me angry every time I talk about them.
I used to be a big fan of Bob's Garage, all the stuff. I think they just became Spike and the Impalers, but it was pre Spike and the Impalers.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Bob Rivers Show.
yeah, Bob
Right.
Rivers Show.
I really like Axis of Awesome. I believe.
Oh, yeah.
They're
Yeah.
either from New Zealand or Australia. I always get that mixed up. But they do two songs. One, they do the 4-chord song, which is basically a parody of all pop music done in the same 4-chord progression,
Yep.
which for music geeks is like, I know that too. But they do this really great parody of that song from Grey's Anatomy, How to Save a Life.
They do a few.
They do 3 versions of it. And the first one's How to Bake a Scone, How to Catch a Duck, and How to Kill a Hooker.
Nice. Do you remember Corky and the Juice Pigs?
Yes.
All right.
Mad TV.
Mad TV.
Yeah.
My favorite song has got to be Cross Country Trucker. I love that song, and I can't find it anywhere. Like, I've looked, and I can't find it on YouTube.
Huh.
But, it's about a guy who hits a kid on a Stingray bike. And it hurt worse than the whiskey bottle twisting its way through my colon.
It reminds me of old Bloodhound Gang stuff, where
Oh,
they
yeah.
do crazy songs like the lap. Oh, it was so
Lap
horrible.
dance is always better
Better
when
when the stripper's crying.
So bad.
Yeah, and it's a whole story about that. Oh, man.
It's true. It's kind of true. Not that the lap dance is better. That the horrific story they're telling about a girl. These stories happen, and
The name's Russell.
I was going to say, at a lap dance by a stripper who was crying.
no.
I haven't even had a lap dance.
Words have power, Ron. Get your shit together. We'll edit it out. It'll be cool.
You won't.
That's like, okay,
Ron will
talking
fix
about
it
words
in
have power, I was out seeing a band with some friends last night, and this couple, actually there were 3 people, were sitting next to us, and they're not going to listen to this, so I can say what I really thought. I thought they were very ignorant people. Just loud and brash, and we're out here to have a good time, and I have big boobs, and I'm a big guy, and she's with me, and so I go up to the bar to get a menu, and he's behind me all, and I get the menu, and he just goes right up, and he has his drink order, and I'm like, I just needed to know what it was called, but yeah, go right ahead. So he's doing his drink order, which are 3 for the table, and then Busty McThunderpants with her red top comes barreling in right next to me, and she's all like, blah, 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 and starts yelling at the bartender about something. She's like, I didn't write your menu. And I missed the whole thing. So then he's getting
It's
a
lacking in
specialty
prose
liquor
and vision.
and making these 3 shots out of whatever. And I'm just sitting here going, wow, okay, this is... So then they're arguing over whose card is going to go on. And I'm like, all I want to do is order my goddamn burger. And so he picks up the drinks and he says something to her, and she grabs 1 shot glass, leans over to grab the 2 in one hand, and spills them all over fuck.
Ugh.
And I'm sitting here going, I didn't hit her, right? I didn't hit her. Nope, there was no touching. This was not on me whatsoever. And so the bartender's like, it's okay, I'll get. What did you want? I'm like, can I get a black and blue burger, please, with cheddar? Thank you. And then he goes about making her drink. Well, they come and sit down, and I'm just like, turn my chair. They get my back. I'm just hanging out with my friends, and then she starts saying something. She's like, if I cut in front of you, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to. I mean, that was probably pretty rude. I turned around and said, no, that's okay. Your boyfriend cut in front of me to begin with. And she was laughing, oh, so it's his fault, blah, 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 blah. And then I was like, okay, maybe they're nice people. And I turned around and said, yeah, I thought I had bumped you, and that's what spilled the drinks. And she's like, oh, that's it. Honey, he hit me. And I turned around and I went, sir, I did not hit her in any way, shape, or form. Lady, words have meaning. And I bumped you. She said, oh, no. And I was just like, really? You just turned to your boyfriend, who was much larger than me, and I'm not a small guy, and said, I hit her. Please be specific.
Like a guy who starts sentences with, bro, do you lift?
Yeah.
You know?
I'm changing my answer. This is my favorite parody song.
Words have meaning?
Words have meaning.
I will write that.
The table went around 8:45 and got up to the bar, saw there was a line that just totally doing.
Just some lonely slide guitar in the background.
And this was an Irish kid playing an F-hole acoustic electric with a stand-up bass drummer and keyboard player doing nothing but like 50s rock.
Do you remember the band name?
It's J.P. Halloran. I can't remember. Maybe Houlihan.
I'm just making shit up. I'm not. Don't take anything I say.
But he's got two bands. One, it's Irish Celtic, and then this one that's sort of 50s rock. And he just cut an EP. It's going to be out soon.
Maybe I need to go to shows like that, because I go to a lot of youthful shows, and then I end up feeling super old. I was just at a show at El Corazon seeing Glass Cloud and Let Live, and I swear, like, I was at least a decade older than everyone there, and that doesn't. When you're standing in a crowd, being like, "Don't bump into me! I'm trying to watch the guitarist, you goddamn kids!" And they're circle pitting and what have you, and I'm like, "I used to be me. Now I'm old and have a bad back."
Yeah, it was at J&M Cafe in Seattle, in Soho,
Nice.
And they have a calendar. So if you look on the 7th, it'll give you the band name.
Oh, cool.
You could look them up that way. But yeah, amazingly talented. He was playing Johnny Cash. He did a great Jimi Hendrix. Beatles.
I don't know anything about Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah. I was so mad. I made a pretty decent Jimi Hendrix joke the other day, and my cousin just went right over his head. He was talking about the game FTL, and he was talking about he's won it twice. And the first time, Faster Than Light, it's a Steam game. Check it out.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
So he won it twice, and the first one he's like, standard ship, blah, blah. And then he's talking about the second one, he's like, yeah, and then so I used the crystal ship, and I was like, oh, was it being filled? 1,000 girls, 1,000 thrills? Nothing. He's like, no, you had 3 crystal guys.
Did you guys like a fun Jimi Hendrix fact?
I was like, this is the end, and I just walked away.
No, yes. That's the Doors.
Oh, that's the Doors. I meant Jim Morrison. I meant Jim Morrison. I thought you said Jim Morrison. You said Jimi Hendrix, didn't you?
Yeah, you did. We've been talking about Jimi Hendrix.
I've been thinking it was Jim Morrison this whole time.
Yeah, that's...
So sorry, and I said Jimi Hendrix back to you, too. I meant Jim Morrison. I meant the Doors. What the fuck?
Light my fire.
Go
ahead.
Oh, just fun fact. My father actually moved Jimi Hendrix's body when he went into his brand new mausoleum that they had made for him, this big monument. And
that is a fun fact, Ron.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
My family's in the cemetery business. What
hey
do you want
guys,
from me?
remember Jimi Hendrix is dead. Isn't
My
that cool?
dad dug him up. It was awesome, and it was totally legal. His sister was there and everything. Not my dad's sister, Jimi Hendrix's sister. That'd be weird if my dad's sister was just like watching my dad do his job.
He used it to make a comedic voodoo doll. It was great.
Which, by the way, if anyone goes out to see the new Jimi Hendrix quote biopic, don't believe any of it.
Yeah, I heard he's not like they tried to make him out to be a wife beater.
He beat his girlfriend with the receiver of a telephone.
Really?
They put that in the movie, and she is on record saying he never treated me that way. I have way more respect for myself, and even in the 60s, I would have walked the fuck out.
Yeah, that's a big thing to make up. That's shit.
The whole thing, and they had who's the guy that wrote House of Mirrors? The Jimi Hendrix biography. He also did Kurt Cobain's. He's a Seattle writer, but he got on and was talking because it premiered at the Seattle International Film Festival, And some people went and saw it and then came back on the radio and were like, we love Jimi Hendrix and this is bullshit. So we dug even deeper and they got his girlfriend on the phone down in New Zealand where she is. And she was like, no. And it was all because the estate would not let them put any of his music in the movie.
That was a weird thing dealing with their estate.
And, all this weird stuff. And it was just like, wow, then why make the movie? Well, we had to sensationalize something. Making shit up?
Yeah, no, his music was really boring.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Let's... Oh, my God.
We're at an hour 10.
We're an hour 10?
Oh, wow.
Okay, we should probably wrap up this portion soon so we can get to your questions. So this is what you get for asking
This
us.
is going to be a long
That's fine.
episode.
I
Yeah.
don't care. I don't care. That's good.
You guys are on
We do have a couple of
ultimate
questions
journey.
coming in really quick, but let's get these to them before they go.
Yes.
So Seven Realms Productions asks, are you guys playing many indie games of late? Which ones?
So tabletop wise, I've been really enjoying Fiasco, which is more of a storytelling one, or the Incredible Adventures of Baron Munchausen, which is a drinking game, which is a storytelling.
Have you gotten to play that one?
Yeah.
Oh.
You
I wanna
basically
play that.
you make a grandiose character like Baron Munchausen. You sit around a table drinking, sharing stories about how great
Ooh, I
you
love
are.
it.
That sounds like Red Dragon Inn-ish.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
But
Is that the one that's kickstarting right
video game wise, I'm playing the hell out of Outlast because I've been playing it for a while. It just keeps scaring me, and it's great.
Nice. I'm not playing indie right now. I'm playing Mario Kart. I'm just playing a lot of Mario Kart.
The new one?
Yeah.
And I said the bootstrap games, the zombie thing that I said last week.
Right.
I have been not playing much of any games lately. I've been on a kick of actually getting back into game development. So I've been reading through some of his stuff, some of the other projects we've got going on and whatnot, and hopefully can produce something that's not just an RPG here pretty soon.
And then B to the Lewis asks, is there an afterlife? No.
I don't believe so, but I am an atheist.
I take comfort in the fact that I get a one big long fucking nap when I'm done.
I believe the only person qualified to answer that is B to the Lewis. He knows why. I know why. And brother, you're stronger than me.
So there you go. So we would like to thank our guests from Northwest Nerdcast for showing up. Well, we'd like to thank Ron for showing up.
We would like to thank Ron for showing
Thank you,
up.
Ron, for showing. Oh, look! You see, I stopped myself.
You did.
Me.
I've been keeping
You
my hands.
haven't. You have not
I've
clapped.
had one sitting here and one sitting on my side since the threat.
Yes.
Now,
No,
check
that's
it out. He, we do even give props to Will for wearing
for the ring.
the
Roll
rings. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I love these.
we Zoe's been pimping them pretty hard at cons.
At cons.
Yeah, because they sent us a bunch of
Mine are in my metal chainmail dice bag downstairs.
Nice.
Made by the same company.
Yeah,
Nice.
Crystal Cast. No. It's I forget the name.
Critical Hit.
Critical Hit.
Critical
Thank
Hit. Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
I ran into them when I was at Gen Con last year.
Which ones do you have?
I just have the D20.
What's on that?
Get the rock.
I
paper,
have
scissors,
just
man.
man
I just all of my
okay. It
titanium
looked
and whatnot.
like they were-
Yeah.
Lots
Yeah.
of man rings.
I got the rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock.
I want the alignment
Ring.
ring. Because it's the old classic alignments.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know there was an alignment.
There's an alignment ring. There's even a D2, which is the yes/no. I think. Is
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I saw the new clicker ones that they got. The life counter ones. Those are looking pretty snazzy.
So
They've already thanked us for being here, so we should probably go
Yeah.
so they can get to
yeah,
their
why don't
questions.
you? Why don't you go?
Well, we thanked you for being here, but we're also making sure that we're addressing your questions.
Oh, we got another question. Who's your
Okay.
favorite portrayal of Alfred? Easy, Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. The end.
Agree.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree.
Michael Caine.
Michael
know.
Caine.
Is that who we're talking about?
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman.
Yes, we're talking about.
Just want Morgan
but
Freeman.
Ephraim
to be Alfred.
Zimbalist Jr. played him in the animated series, and it was perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
Most of the voice cast from the animated series
Is
should forever do
perfect.
Batman, because that's who I hear in my
Yeah.
head whenever I think of Batman.
That's
really
who
is.
the pencil people drew, was the acting ability of the voice actors.
Mhm.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He might be the voice of Alfred, and I'll give you that because it's a damn good voice. But actually pulling off Alfred, Michael Caine.
Agree to not agree at all in any way. So.
That's what I'm here for. Point. And
All right. Well, thanks again, guys. And
yes,
we will
thank
be
you
right
so
back.
much.
We will be right back with your questions after this.
We'll be,
which is not going to be anything because we're not cutting the commercial. It's just going to be a cut.
Should I? We're not going to pause that.
No, but just pause that. Yeah.
And then we'll edit it.
No, we won't edit it at all.
No, this is good. Thank you guys. Awesome.
Thank you. All right, get out.
Huzzah!
All right, cool. Thanks, guys. Seriously.
No problem. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, because it forced us to put all this together.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Yay!
Right on. If you guys have got anything big coming up, just let us know. We'll promote the hell of it on our show.
For sure.
So,
Yeah, likewise. Yeah.
Absolutely. Cool. See y'all later.
Thanks, guys.
I'll go down with you.
Punch Danger Mike in the eyes.
I will.
Always the eyes.
And then getting out.
Now I'm alone. Wade's World reference. That's what that was. So yeah, just hold on for a bit, guys, and we will restart the recording and get to a lot of questions. We actually have quite a few. So hopefully they're going to be amazing, awesome, grand, great. They could suck. They probably suck. They suck. Did you guys ask any? Those are good. Those are good ones. The rest are terrible. Dennis, if you're watching, they're terrible. So you go get a drink, or see a movie. I don't know. What was that old thing? I forget. And whoever commented on it, I think it was... I don't know who it was. But the Prince Valiant look, yeah, I know. Shut up. It's growing out. I can't make it grow any faster. This is a terrible haircut, and I'm a terrible person forever agreeing to cut my hair. Do I have a monologue memorized that I could share? Shit. No? Maybe? What's the old... there's the one from the Scottish play. The Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Cribson's Petty Patient, Day, the last syllable recorded time, an hour yesterday's a letter. Fool's the way to dusty death. That was just boring. No, I don't have any memorized anymore. I used to have the Claudius bit from Caesar memorized. I don't know why. Thank you. I don't know about making a better vamp than Bram Stoker. I definitely make a better one. That joke fell off the rails. Forget it. Forget I said it. I'm not going to make a Twilight joke. I promised myself I wouldn't. I never promised that, but I'm not going to. Scott, hurry up. I'm dying up here. Oh. And I've been instructed to tell the listeners, Douche Lord. Davey Douche Lord.
See what?
What? I'm talking to the camera, because I'm waiting for you.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay, I'm going to...
I couldn't bum rush them out.
Well, you totally could bum rush them.
Well, it's true.
I'm probably just going to pull this so we don't get any sound out of it for the rest.
Or I'll just mute it on the...
Oh, that works too.
But yeah, there you go.
And then let's get a little cozy again. I swear to God, one of these days we're going to get this fixed. Probably not, though.
Oh, son of a bitch. It froze there.
I see what it did. That's crazy. I'm reading stuff. I could do sock puppets. I could do sock puppets.
Tell me what you want me to...
Sing this corrosion
back
thing.
up.
St. Christmas Day. I do not know the St. Christmas Day speech at all. I have not watched Renaissance Man enough to know that.
I'm not going to mute this.
Okay.
So they're going... ready?
Yep. And we're back. Which to
We're
you is no time at all.
Correct.
This is like quantum teleportation, as far as you're concerned. So, do you want to bring the questions up?
I will. Give me one momento.
Okay.
Here.
I guess we're all taking a moment for Scott. Here we go. Moment of silence.
Okay.
All right, so Thomas Brophy.
I was going to go in
Jesus.
in the order. I didn't put them in
Oh, so
chronological.
we're going reverse order?
Yeah.
Okay. So Dennis Nickel asks, in the light of recent events, I'm curious if the two bards think that in good old America, it is more sexist or racist at this point in time. To what degree do you think this might be different in CND from your experience there? Canada.
Maybe.
Canada. So I think that's a difficult question to answer. I think that my gut feel is that racism has a deeper debt socially. Sexism affects far more people and all races. It's tough. But you could also argue that sexism has a huge debt as well, especially if you look at sort of the religious duties that that women had to adhere to or be killed.
Mm-hmm.
There's a quote from Yoko Ono that I will never say, but that's it's a tough one. So in America, I think globally sexism wins out just because of sheer number. In America, that number is the same, but racism is so off the charts that I think we probably need to work a little bit more on racism well, no. I think they're both equally important. And as far as Canada goes, they're sexist and racist there too.
Yes.
They are. I'd say probably the dial on the racism in Canada is probably a little higher than the sexism, like in terms of balance.
Yeah.
Because you get a lot of old farmers and whatnot.
Yeah, and there's
there's
a
like
lot
5
of
women.
neo-Nazis in Canada.
Yeah, there's like 5 women in Canada, so...
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll just say that I think we're all getting smarter. We're all getting a little more enlightened. And we're all realizing that a lot of the things that we used to do maybe aren't appropriate.
And then we read the comments and realize, no, we're not.
No.
But whatever.
And I don't think we're getting necessarily better.
No.
I think we're recognizing, but I think what we need to do is we need to be kind to ourselves in the past. Realize that, hey, we did things. They were of the time. We realize now that they were wrong. Back then, we didn't know any better. We were infants. We're now adolescents, moving on to young adulthood. And hopefully we will learn from those things, and we will be better human beings.
So, I'm with you up to the be kind to ourselves in the past. I don't think that is in any way a requirement to moving on, but I do think that we need to remember the past. That's the thing that to me is the thing that happens. Like, people want to forget about it. Like, in Germany, the Holocaust never happened kind of thing. That doesn't work.
No.
You have to know what you did. You
History
have to be
itself.
aware of what you've done. And I think that this feeds into a lot of white guilt, male guilt, privileged guilt is what I'll call it, because that's really what it comes down to, is privileged guilt. People who do see that, who do see the past, who do know that it was terrible, and who don't know how to make up for it now, or who can't figure out, because as humans, we're very strange. We want people to think we're empathetic. And we think ourselves empathetic.
Mm-hmm.
We convince ourselves that we can always see something from someone's point of view. And that's not necessarily true.
No.
One of the worst things you can say to someone is, I know how you feel. Because you don't. You don't. You can empathize. You can say, please tell me how you feel. And, I didn't know that you felt like that. This will get into that whole Macklemore thing again. By the way, Jonah Hill, killing it, buddy. That was awesome. Jonah Hill apologized in the best way I have ever seen someone apologize. He immediately took responsibility for what he did. Mm-hmm. He immediately apologized for offending people, not for them being offended.
Right.
That's, oh, I'm sorry you're offended is probably about the worst thing you can... Well, it's not the worst thing you can say, but it's a very bad thing.
But it's very bad, yeah. It's disingenuous.
So, good on you, Jonah Hill, for eating as much crow as you did and understanding that even saying sorry doesn't mean anything, ultimately. But you did what you could, and that I appreciate a lot. But yeah, I mean, I think that you are correct in that we are moving forward. And the problem is, because we're moving forward, suddenly we have to address stuff. And when you have to address stuff, people who don't want to move forward get really mad and freak out and get even more racist and more sexist. And I think we're seeing a lot of that right now. People overcorrecting to try and get back the power they used to have.
Because for me, we can't get back.
No.
I cannot give of myself your 40 acres and a mule that are owed. The government can't give that back. We are at the, this has happened, let's move on and not repeat it. My forefathers did not contribute to slavery. My forefathers were in Canada. But they could have been fur trappers that didn't do nice things to the native population there when the French came over. I don't know. But I personally, I didn't do any of that. So I can't make up for it except in my behavior moving forward.
True. So Dennis Nickel also asks, because he's a fucking chatty Cathy, what's for dinner? Well, it's not my free day, so fuck off and die, Dennis.
Dinner was 21 grain bread and Tillamook cheddar cheese.
I haven't eaten since 11. But I'm not very hungry either, because yesterday was my free day.
And that was all that I had to eat.
Okay. So
yesterday was my free day.
Yeah. Yesterday for dinner, it was chicken wings, and you were there.
No, it wasn't.
No, he was. Dennis Nickel was.
Yes.
We went to Wing Dome and had...
Nice.
Now, he wrote this, I think, before we went to Wing Dome, so that's pretty funny.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of Wing Dome. They do chicken wings in a very different way than most.
Been there the last 3 Saturdays?
Yeah, well, that's because Aaron, who hates meat on a bone, hates it, despises it, never wanted to try chicken wings, tried a chicken wing, and it has now taken me back 3 Saturdays in a row.
But doesn't Wing Dome have boneless chicken?
And she doesn't care. Yes, they do. They have popcorn chicken, and that's not what she gets anymore. She gets meat on the bone.
Oh.
She totally gave
Aaron,
in. She likes it so much. Well, it's really
Damn
good.
it.
So
So's popcorn chicken.
So the thing with Wing Dome is in their spicy wings, they put a little bit of cumin in the. They don't do just the standard Franks and butter.
Right.
It's a very complex sauce. There's cumin, there's pepper, there's a bunch of other stuff in it. It's really good. So that's what's for dinner, and you had it.
Okay. Paula Moran writes in sometime back. What are some of your favorite classic cartoons, and would you like them brought back as reruns, continuations, or complete revamps?
Scooby-Doo and Don't Touch It.
I will, say Scooby-Doo and Don't Touch It. I don't want any of them to be... I want reruns.
Mm-hmm. Reruns are good.
Of every cartoon ever when I was a kid. Because there's so many that I missed out on that I want to see.
I will say, there is a G-Force, Battle of the Planets, whatever, remake in the early 2000s, I think. That's the people who have the bird masks. Mm-hmm. It was a Japanese animation. It was terrible at the time. They were all terrible at the time, Speed Racer style. Like, whoa.
Oh, yeah.
They remade it, and it was fucking awesome. So there are opportunities. The dumber the cartoon, the less, or the fewer story arcs and the fewer good, well-written episodes, the better for remaking it. I have to be honest, I went and rewatched some of the old Thundercats. Mm-hmm. They're not good. They're not good.
Oh, no.
The new ones are great. They're really good. So that's a case where they did something and it was better. The new He-Man that they did, oh man, it was terrible. It was so bad. So awful. Looked like some kind of bone disease or something.
And don't touch gargoyles.
Don't touch... Well, Gargoyles was perfect.
Yes.
Don't touch Batman. Well, they keep remaking Batman animated, and as long as Kevin Conroy is doing the voice, this is like kind of a throwback to our previous conversation. As long as Kevin Conroy is doing the voice, I'll keep watching Batman. It's been good. But the thing is, that's more of a, you're not remaking a cartoon. You're making a new cartoon from a comic book.
Yeah.
So, because look at X-Men. The one in the '90s was great. The newer ones are crap.
The live action movies?
No, the live action movies, 1 and 2, okay. 3, what the fuck? Wolverine, are you kidding me? And then I've heard the new one's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I want to see it.
And the only cartoons I really watched growing up as a kid were Charlie Brown.
What about Clue Club? I'd let him remake Clue Club because that was terrible.
I don't even know what that is.
That was store brand cereal Scooby Doo.
Oh, okay.
It was like 2 basset hounds, and it sucked. It was terrible. Oh, the Clue Club.
Okay, this is a question for Andy.
Oh, right.
Because I don't know. Is YouTube not keeping your podcast saved anymore? I don't see any Two Bards live videos after April 27th for some reason.
So, we have moved, Justin, our YouTube channel to Two Bards. We've moved it from my personal YouTube channel to the Two Bards production channel. You can't move videos.
What?
I know, they won't let you move videos. So I can link to them, and I probably will do that. I'll make a playlist on the Two Bards page going back to that.
Okay.
But if you want to see the newer stuff, go to Two Bards Productions on YouTube. Okay.
And the last week there was not one.
There was not one last week with Jesse Keeter. Just because
didn't we not do another one?
There have been a couple that we haven't done because of problems, but yeah. And I'm going to go ahead. I don't know what the audio quality on this one's going to be like, so if it's been terrible this whole time, I apologize. We switched up to try and get 3 mics, and we've learned that we probably just shouldn't try to do anything. Because it always ends up worse.
Well, no.
No, I know, but you know what I mean.
But yeah, maybe we can make it work with just the 2 mics.
Well, with 2 mics, I'm sure it'll work fine, and
it was an interesting experiment.
It was
one that we needed to have.
It was. We also have a question coming in on the video podcast.
Okay.
It is: are you guys looking forward to D&D 5? And I believe that's Tiff. Oh no, that's 7 Realms. Tiffany says thanks, Obama. Indeed, thanks, Obama. I don't know about what, but
yeah. All right.
D&D 5. I'm not really. I'll see how people enjoy it.
Why?
I don't
why
have
does
time.
It have to keep?
I don't have time for
4 just came out. What do they need to?
No, 4 came out like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. But I mean, AD&D we played for what, 10 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to it. We'll see how it goes.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
Well, I think now it's D&D Next, so it's going to be always updated. It's like they totally World of Warcrafted it to where now you're just always buying expansions for the core. Yeah, I don't know.
Fox Winter writes in, or made a comment, and I wanted to talk about this. I watched this today, and it reminded me of that time that I trolled Scott C. Brown and Andy Doporowski a little bit by asking a question of them with a joking reference to anti-Stratfordism on their Two Bards production podcast. I think they would enjoy this. And it was a review that someone made of the film Anonymous.
Okay.
Which is the conceit of the film is that Shakespeare was a hack who put his name. He was the ghostwriter of the plays, and really some Duke Earl.
Well, there's the Bacon theory. There's the
But this wasn't even the Bacon theory. This is the Earl of Rotherford or whatever. Or of Stratford, that he wrote all of these things because a hack who didn't go to college couldn't possibly have written about the things that he did. And I really want to see the movie, just from the standpoint of, I believe it's the hooligan from, I can't remember the name, it's the soccer player who gets...
Tony, or Bulletooth Tony from
Snatch? Yes.
Why can't I remember his fucking name right now?
and
Someone will tell us.
So I think he's the lead. He's
Okay.
the Duke or Earl or whoever's supposed to be writing it. I think, because I can't tell he's
The
got a
Juggernaut.
goatee and all
He's the
this stuff.
Juggernaut, number 3. Well, fucking piece of shit.
Anyway, the guy's rant is beautiful. And he talks about, oh, you mean these other non-college educated people like blah, 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 and lists a whole bunch of them that we don't doubt the veracity of what they wrote or did.
Right.
And the fact that all of these world-class things and locations
Right.
aren't geographically correct. Like, there's no... Padua is not where it is, and there's all these Anyway, so, yeah. Great point, Fox. Thank you very much. We appreciate your trolling anyway. And yes, I'm now going to go see it because I remember it being a movie, but I couldn't remember the name, and you have spurred that forth in me. Thank you.
Awesome. So we have, let's see, Fox is asking, will Andy be hitting any conventions this coming season? Yes, I will be at Gen Con. Crying behind a booth for 4 days. It's going to suck.
And having fun one night.
Having fun one night, but it's going to be tough.
And then drinking a lot.
Well, I can't drink
Or
too much.
maybe
I have to
not.
be up at 8.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you can be hungover at the booth.
there are a lot
That's
of...
never been a requirement.
Wow, live is actually busting up now. Check this out. And Fox, thank you. I did know I could download MP4s and move them manually. Right now, YouTube has it set to where I can only download 2 of them in a day. So it will be a pain in the ass, and I also don't like to work. So Tiffany says, what do you imagine Nick Fury, played by Bill Cosby, would sound like?
Oh, he used to be... Jello.
Jello. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. The Jello with the pudding and the hydras up and you gotta look out for the super dupe or to get you, motherfucker. And then what would Tony Stark sound like played by Gilbert Gottfried, which is
Affleck!
just house party protocol. Jarvis, where the hell are you? God, what am I, alone in this suit? Smells like bacon in here. And then Brian asks, other than film, if you had crazy fuck you money, and you could do what you can learn to fly, whatever you like, what would you do? Learn to sail, fly horses? Oh, fly, ? Horses, scuba, hang glide, clone things. I'd probably
Scuba.
Scuba would be good.
I that's hands down scuba.
I mean, curing malaria is pretty awesome. It depends on how much fuck you money I had. If I had enough money to make a difference, I would feel obligated to make a difference. If I just had enough money to where it wouldn't really put a dent in anything and I could only really spend it on me, scuba would be fucking great.
I'm saying if there's enough fuck you money, you get enough to make a difference with malaria
And
and
go scuba diving.
So
In mosquitoes.
That's what I would be doing. I would try more horseback ride. I would do more with horses. I would not own them.
Right.
I would
Well, that's just cruel to a horse, really.
Yeah. And there was something else. Oh, yeah.
I would buy
Go
cars.
places and see the world.
I would buy cars anonymously and park them illegally all around the city.
And just put good to go. No, what's
Yeah, it's good to go.
Zip car.
Or zip car, right? Yeah, that works.
That gets to
Or
park
not
for
good to
free.
go. Right. Yeah,
Whatever.
zip car. All right.
Dennis Nickel.
Damn,
Wordy,
that
wordy
guy.
Dennis. Have you done any amount of voice acting? What are some of the challenges with getting into the scene? Into is one word, Dennis. Be it for video games, or voiceovers, or narrations, etc., etc. I have done... He says any amount. I have done an amount of voice acting.
Yeah.
A very limited amount, usually asked by people who know me and want me to do things. I also have a fuck ton of auditions for voice acting gigs on my computer, none of which have resulted in a job.
Having a good voice, I think, would be the way to start that.
Not necessarily. A unique voice is really all you need.
I sound like a wombat with his nuts caught in a fucking...
No. I would listen to you recite or read a book. Do book narration.
Oh, okay.
If we did like Thine Enemy's Eyes.
Oh, right.
Where I did where I did narration of a...
Sorry, I can't do it. Oh, second secret hole. All right. Yes.
It's a narrative. Fictional narrative.
Fictional narrative.
That has a narrator's voice in it.
Right.
And I did all of the narrator, which was a lot. Andy and I spent many days at Microsoft recording it. It was awesome. I've also done the ill-fated McStirling Scenes book. Well, not ill-fated. I still have the book. And audiobooks. For those interested, I do have some McStirling Scenes audiobooks left. That was...
Just hit us up online and we will sell them to you.
Yes. And I have clearance to do so.
Yep. Roger.
The audiobook was, what is it, 22 chapters?
Yeah.
It took 16 hours to do over 2 days in a hotel room. Mm-hmm. That is the hardest thing, and we learned that from the Microsoft thing too, is you've got a couple hours before you've got solid stuff.
Yeah. Also, we learned, surprisingly, always have a spotter.
Yes.
Because you'll be reading along and you'll forget or misread words and you'll never know.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
No, and it was great having Andy as an engineer / director on that. Maintaining a voice over a number of days is always interesting to try and get it back. He wasn't asking about challenges about that, though.
No,
he
wasn't.
Asking about getting into the scene. The best thing that I've heard, a friend of Christian and mine, Aaron Holbrook, does voice stuff. Mm-hmm. You can get in online, and if you've got a good USB mic and Audacity, you can do a hell of a lot. So it's really not hard to get in, but if you want to get in professionally, it is a tough fucking nut to crack. You got to have the right agent, you got to have the right ends.
Have an agent, first of all, that's the thing.
Yes.
Get an agent.
But get the agent that gets... Because Melissa, who is my agent, is wonderful for film stuff. Mm-hmm. But I can't seem to crack a nut in the voiceover, whereas Topo Swope Agency seems to get a lot more in the voice stuff. Yeah. So it's really weird. And then some of the video game is independent. You got to know somebody in Microsoft. Mm-hmm. Bo, thankfully, is going to drop my name for the Nancy Drew video game.
Oh, nice. A Big Fish.
Apparently, they're having a problem finding male voices.
Well, they can only use Brian Lewis so many times.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So Paula Moran asks, are you guys going to be involved with the Ben Dobbins Strowlers? Not the Ben Dobbins, just Ben Dobbins. And on the subject... What is your opinion of steampunk, and what kind of character costumes would you create for the genre for yourselves? I am not planning on being involved with Strowlers. That is Ben's thing, and it is very well thought out. We're talking decades of work.
Yes.
The whole
reason he created Zoe.
Yep, the whole reason he created Zoe, ultimately. And it's an amazing, vast, expansive universe, and I would be a tourist. I don't do steampunk.
I don't either.
I just don't do it. I appreciate good steampunk costumes. A steampunk costume where a cog isn't a decoration always blows my mind. Where like the cogs are functional.
Yes.
And people make these amazing functional headpieces and goggles that are articulated. That stuff's great. I think steampunk is also kind of... And this isn't like... I don't want to shame anybody for like not doing a lot with costuming. But steampunk is you can be very lazy with it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's fine. If you want to be lazy and go to a con, I don't care. That's fine. But from a technical perspective, I'm much more engrossed in costumes that have really, really, like, especially, this is thanks to Erin, because, you know, she's an amazing designer. Erin's eye for sort of quality and stitching and things like that, it is rubbing off. So Like, I can tell if you have a vinyl vest you purchased from a costume shop that you've glued something onto from half a convention center away. So the people who really pour the work into it, I'm going to pay a lot more attention to those costumes, the ones that have the fine Victorian stitching and detail. Again, if a cog does something, that's cool. That's really interesting to me.
Yeah. If I could make a top hat that had a train that went around it,
well, that'd be just cool anyway.
that would be cool.
Yeah, like maybe use a little candle to heat it, and it would actually be steam powered. That'd be great.
That would be awesome. But I also don't follow steampunk. However, you can be very lazy and not be steampunk. You can buy a cardboard box with a bunch of 8-bit green on it and call yourself Minecraft. You could drape yourself in a yellow robe, throw a hemp rope around it, and spray paint a witch's hat yellow.
Well, what? Yeah,
and be perf.
What's the big lazy one right now? Like Deadpool is kind of the lazy one.
Oh
right
yeah.
now. Which,
just
but
pull the thing
as a
over
costume, it's lazy. As a performance piece, it is one of the most involved pieces you can wear.
Sure.
So
yeah. And I don't know if I will be involved. If Ben wants me to be an actor, yes. Otherwise, I probably won't be involved because I don't have anything to offer.
I just don't. Again, because of what I'm doing now and working and whatnot. If I were doing film full time, I would absolutely be involved.
Yeah.
Because I have to work at Amazon full time, I really have to pick what I do. So and the level of writing in this thing is going to be ridiculous. It's going to be very high caliber. So rather than make something mediocre that's just going to not live up to the world, I would rather do something better in a place that I know and love.
Yep. And Thomas Brophy writes in finally, what are your thoughts about actors who physically confront hecklers in a show and get fired? He is referencing an individual who down in California, just west of Hollywood, there was a production of Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
Yep. Now, was this your character, the same character that you played?
No,
this is Big Daddy, right?
He was playing Big Daddy.
He was playing Big Daddy.
Which is the patriarch of the family.
Right, gotcha.
And the article doesn't go into enough detail. I've heard a number of conflicting things.
Mm-hmm.
So what the article said was a guy. Now, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof is another one of those pieces that,
right,
of the time, has some very strong themes that aren't politically correct today. However, they were written from a person who was gay about a person who may or may not be gay. It is not clearly stated in the play.
Right.
But there are enough allusions to it. A member of the audience, as an audience member, while the play was going on, called his character, who is Brick, a fag. Now, it has been reported that this was going on all of Act 1, and in Act 2, the character playing Big Daddy, who in Act 2, it's pretty much Big Daddy and Brick on stage. Act 1 is Brick and his wife on stage.
Right.
This character went and physically confronted the individual who was saying the slurs, and there were other ones besides that, but that was the one that got everything rolling, and physically escorted the person from the building, much to the audience's applause and backing. He then went on, they finished the show. The production manager of that show fired him on the spot. And the character playing Brick said, if you're firing him, I'm not coming back either. And so I think the play ended up closing or was off for a while they recast.
That's my understanding.
So, of that very long, involved, rambling story, the question is, what are your thoughts on actors who physically confront hecklers in a show?
I'll give mine first because I'm sure you have real experience with this. My first question is, where was security at the venue? That's my very first question. Is the actor shouldn't have had to get to that point. With it, but by the second uttering of this, that guy should have been out on his ass. just right, like, should have been out on his ass. Now, if the production manager can't get the venue secured and an actor is still being heckled into the second act, I don't think there's much ground. There's a lot of grounds for firing that actor when, at this point, this person is... Because, part of this is when the actor goes and confronts the person, not only is the actor putting himself in physical danger, and potentially others in physical danger, and I do understand that. I'm still saying I think I would have done something similar personally. But you're essentially completely taking yourself out of the show at that point. You are no longer that character. You are now this other person. So your hand has been forced. Do you protect people from having to deal with that shit? The other issue, of course, though, is that no one was enjoying the play probably at this point because of the heckler. So you're already taken out. So from my perspective, and this is knowing what I know, not knowing 100% of the story, from my perspective, I think were I in that situation, given the spin I've heard, I would have done the same thing, and had I been fired, I would have said, well, I wouldn't want to work here anyway, and walked out. So that's how I feel about it. But where the fuck was security, I guess, is still my biggest question.
Yeah. So my initial gut reaction was, exactly the same thing. However, in discussions with Tom when he brought this up, while in a group of other actors, a point was brought up that I have to agree with 100%, which is basically going to your question, where was security? But more importantly, this is in the second act. I'll finish the story and then come back. So, where's security? B, where's the audience? Audiences have become too complacent. The audience should have policed that shit. If someone's texting in a movie theater, I tell them to knock it off. If people are doing that while a play is going on, I will try and get their attention or get someone else's attention to tell them that that's inappropriate. The audience has to take some responsibility in that. Okay. So, as a viewer, if you're being taken out of a play by someone, you need to stop that. That is not the actor's responsibility.
No, I agree. I agree with that.
Right. And I knew that you would. So, security, audience. When we did Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, we had a number of things that we were contesting. One was texting.
Right.
We had people with volume on. Now, I don't care. I can't really see the glow of the texting. But I can hear the audible going on incessantly through an act that we told our stage manager, who went and told the front of house, who got the ushers to tell people to knock it the fuck off.
Right.
We had a lady who kept telling Brick through the entire play, oh, honey, drinking's bad for you. You shouldn't do that. It was cute the first couple times, but it kept going on.
Right.
There wasn't much we could do. She was an octogenarian, and she was just kind of set in her ways, and she was trying to do the right thing.
Right.
So you got to play that off. But there are a number of steps. If you're going to break the fourth wall, I think that the physical can escalate things, like you were saying. That there is concern to risk to patrons, to yourself, to the other person. You don't want to go bum rush them and grab them and then they fall over and smack their head. Yeah, they're an asshole, but now there's liability concerns.
Right, no, totally.
Whereas if you're Kevin Spacey and you're doing a Broadway show and someone's phone goes off, you stop the show. You say, oh no, I'm sorry, go ahead and take that. It's obviously more important than what I'm doing. We'll wait. And stand there and shame the person. That, I think, is stronger. It also allows security to come, to take things over. And I know from experience, in the back of the house, sometimes you can't hear what's going on in the front of the house.
Right.
And so some of that, there's a lot of things at play. But I was told by Scott Whitney, the artistic director at Harlequin, should that happen, and one of us decides it's time, they support us stopping the show
Okay.
and saying, take care of your shit. And I appreciate that.
Yes.
Because we wanted to,
Right.
but we didn't because we're trying to maintain that. Okay, I'm not Kevin Spacey. I can't command that kind of power. And there's a number of people who have done it, and it's
Right.
all on YouTube. Look at people shaming people with cameras in a play.
My favorite one, by the way, just real quick, was the, I think it was the London Philharmonic. Someone's ringer went off, and the cellist started playing the Nokia tone. They started playing it back. It's actually a really beautiful piece. Like, it's funny when you hear it played on real instruments. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Because I think it's an actual classical piece. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
So I would say that I support the idea
I get you.
of what the actor did. And I think something needs to be done. I think the actors on stage should be the last bastion.
Right.
If something needed to happen and the stage, let's say, in a lot of times in community theater, your stage manager is a girl or a boy, barely 18,
Right.
who are calling a show. They can't go and deal with that. If you have a cast member, say my character Gooper, who's not really doing fuck all during the second act, could walk out there, find that person, and ask them to leave. Could go find the ushers or the house manager and tell them that these things are going on.
Right.
If all of that is failing and they can't get to them, I applaud him. I applaud the guy who played Brick for standing up for that. The guy playing Big Daddy for standing up and taking care of it. I applaud Brick for standing up and standing by his fellow actor and saying, look, if you're going to fire him for doing that, I'm walking.
Right.
Because that's not right. You failed in your job as the production manager.
Exactly, right.
You shouldn't be firing an actor for taking care of what you should have handled in myriad different ways through. And Act 1 is well over an hour, plus your intermission. Going into Act 2, you're an hour and a half into this fucking thing. Someone should have taken care of it.
I guess that's where it's hitting me hardest. It's like the person who fired him is the very person who was ultimately responsible for that situation.
Yeah.
Now, again, this is all coming from a place of not knowing.
Right.
I wasn't there. I don't know.
No.
Maybe this guy's been trouble the whole time and they were just looking for a reason to get rid of him. I don't know. But
Which I've been in shows where that's the case.
yeah, in this particular instance, reprimand, sure. Understudy gets a night, sure. But firing him just completely seems like the wrong move because it's not going to reflect well on this production manager, especially with any actors with conviction who are potentially going to work on future productions. That's the other thing is I think that this probably got heated. This probably happened while the actor was still pretty steamed because you engage in a situation like this. It is not a calm situation. You have a lot of issues. You have a lot of stuff going on. So it doesn't sound like anybody sat on it. It doesn't sound like anybody just took a day to think about it. So overall, I'm not going to side with anybody, but I would say that I would hope for the actor's sake that what you say, that those fail-safes failed. And that he took what was maybe maybe there's more that could have been done a little bit, but it wasn't just like I'm fucking done and I'm
Right.
And I just don't know enough to say whether or not that's true. But overall, I guess overall, my take from this is if you do that at a play, you're a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
Go to hell.
Yeah.
Just fucking die.
Now there are some,
There you go.
And this was yelled at by someone specifically to the person.
Right.
There's a difference between that, I believe, and a friend of mine did a play called Fat Pig.
Mm-hmm.
It is what you would think it is about. It is a social commentary about large women.
Mm-hmm.
and my friend, I will leave names out of this, is a larger than average woman. Wonderful actress. Knew that going in, and knew what the play was about, and knew that they were going to make a social statement.
Right.
So it's not a play about shame or anything like that. Ultimately, it is a very powerful piece.
Gotcha.
But it was done in a very small theater that is maybe 16 feet across, where you have people sitting in one folding chair against each wall. So it's what's called traverse.
Okay.
You have audience on opposing sides, and you act in an alleyway between them.
Gotcha.
Now, in that intimate a setting, and that substantive a play,
right,
people are going to make remarks, perhaps to their neighbor, perhaps accidentally just blurting things out, because that is a very intimate space. You feel like you are part of this action.
Gotcha.
And she would hear people saying things like, "Oh my God, I didn't know she was that fat," or and they accentuated things. You
Gotcha.
know, "Oh my God, she's hit." And you have to hear that as an actor. But you know that in that space, doing a evocative play,
it's expected. Yeah.
those things are going to happen.
Right.
If someone had been in that space and gone, "Hey, you fat fucking pig,"
Yeah.
okay, that's what
Goodbye.
this guy did.
Yep.
In a proscenium stage with an audience of 250 to 1,000 people, yelling this out at the actor.
Right.
Total difference in
Yes.
intent and
Yes.
purpose, and
These are not
So-
equivalent.
no.
Right.
And so that person was wrong, and please, as an audience member, I will tell you as an actor, do something.
Yes.
You want to do it in movie theaters when people's phones go off. You tell them to shut up.
Yeah, but then you get shot sometimes. It's a shitty fucking
But in the theater, I'm pretty sure nobody's... I don't want to get classist. But if you're going to see a play, I don't care if it's in South Central.
If it's in Texas, you might be wrong.
That's true. But this was West Hollywood.
You might be
Sorry.
wrong.
Sorry, west of Hollywood, not West
Okay.
Hollywood. Sorry. Anyway, okay.
Cool.
We're approaching
We
the
need to
longest.
be done. Yeah, we need to be done.
I think we need to pop the 120 minute cherry. Though
I really don't want to. What time?
Really?
How much do we have left?
we're at 158.14. We're not going to make it.
No.
We can't stretch this out.
I don't want to.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, if you're listening.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, if you're listening, I promise I'm going to watch Cosmos. I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't either. I don't have TV.
I've got Hulu now, so I'm going to watch it. I went ahead and paid for a couple of months of Hulu.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I will go watch Cosmos. You come on our show.
I'll come over and watch Cosmos at your place.
You come over and watch Cosmos. Neil deGrasse
Neil
Tyson, if
deGrasse
you want to
Tyson.
come watch Cosmos with us and
We'll
tell
have a
us,
Cosmos party.
we'll have a Cosmos party. It'll be great. We'll have Cosmos,
We'll have Cosmos while watching Cosmos.
and we'll read some Cosmo.
Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you for.
158.55.
So Fox asks, whatever happened to Frack and Epic? What do you mean? Get it. Hit us up. We'll sell you.
So, yeah, I'm going to talk to Bo about that, and that's going to start getting promoted on the Two Bards page, because we had a website for it, and it just kind of fell off, and it's sort of been back-ended at Two Bards. So we'll get that back up. I need to figure out from Bo what he wants to do, if we're just going to open it back up on Amazon and you buy it that way or what. But it's in the works. Thank you for the reminder. We will take care of it. Hopefully by the next podcast we'll have info for you.
All right, guys, I got to get going. So have a good night. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for
so
sticking
much.
around
Yes,
for a really long
Thank you.
cast.
Yeah, thank you for sticking around for the cast. Thank you for
Putting up
with our technical... I swear to God, an hour before we started, this was
Everything
all fine.
Yep.
And then we said, okay, let's get ready. Pew!
Yep. Bye, everybody.
Flash encoder, fuck you.